So that brings us to the start of session number 53 or season 5 episode 3. I think I've gotten all that right. Just checking the numbers because I may be out by at least one number or so. Yes, it is episode 3. It's nice how they all lined up. Okay, so I was going to get some introductions and let Ariadne get the introduction in first so we can then make coffee.
Is that so that you can get the coffee faster,
Yes.
or so I can get the coffee faster?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you just say yes.
Works yes for both.
I can't remember who I am.
Thea. Thea the Amazing.
I play Thea. I can't remember what the word intrepid means, but I'm going to say the intrepid leader of the group.
At least that's better than the despotic leader of the group.
No, I know the meaning of despotic today, and definitely not despotic. But maybe soon to be exploded into tiny little bits, because we left off the end of the last episode with me deciding not to abandon B1 because he told me not to worry about the beeping, but we both forgot about the bomb to be what's that thing when they... Disarmed, yep. Before I made that commitment to stay. So
you'd rather the bomb be disarmed than you?
Yeah, I definitely prefer the bomb be disarmed than me. But we will find out what happens in...
Shortly.
Yes, shortly. Sorry, my brain is really fritzing today. I'm going to go make coffee.
Which then brings us to Mike.
So fritzing.
Hello. I play Brum Brum Crush, a coordinated Gungan from the Panorama Mountains Raceway. I'm a pod racer, an amazing pilot, good at computers, and I have a Mohawk.
You do. It's an amazing Mohawk too.
And
Even have you up online and fully updated.
oh, there we go.
And then online today we have Mark.
Hi, I play the not loving of droid Ash, who has still decided whether B1 is actually a decent person or not, but I'll do whatever our gracious leader says. That's for you, David.
Oh, I don't think David's here. Is David...
I know, but if he watches it,
If he watches it? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If he watches it, he'll find out what happened to his character.
That's right.
Next up we have is Kesley.
Hello. I am the Bionic Nuclear. She is the martial artist tactician of the group. Trying to regain a bit of an honor in herself by serving family as best as possible. And trying to prove to herself that she is strong and capable.
She's a real fighter.
You are
Just
strong.
really,
You are capable.
maybe strong in will, but not really level 2 willpower. But you know what? We're working on that. that's me.
And then last one for tonight is Ross.
Yes, I play the confused. I am either going to be colored, lead, or copper, depending on which sector I'm currently in.
And who's holding
yes,
the gun at you?
No, you were previously copper when we were sector rangers.
No, I was colored first, and then I went lead, and I got so-called killed by the master assassin. So
I believe
changed
the
my
joke
name
went
to
over his
copper.
head.
What was that?
I believe the joke went over his head.
I was more referencing who used to be law enforcement.
Yeah, I was ignoring it.
Come on!
I was not really. I'd be more of a Bobby than a copper.
I like it.
So that means we get to call you Bob later on.
Yeah, if I'm running out of aliases, I'll probably start going on to the lines of the Bobby or some other things. And I am currently getting attacked by the Meow virus at the moment.
I told you not to click on the icon.
Great. Except this Meow virus has claws. So I'm the assassin, enforcer, gadgeteer, survivalist. What was the other thing?
All of the things.
Yeah, so currently mourning my severely damaged vibro sword.
Yeah. Assassin, enforcer, gadgeteer, scavenger.
Fortunately, I don't have the time to repair it. Oh well.
Okay, so does Kesley remember her notes from last session?
Yep. So, last session, we ended up at the, what's the word I'm thinking?
Alamaran upside.
Spaceport at Alamaran. We were sent in to be pest control. So, we get aboard, we're trying to get all the lights on and all that stuff. And as we get in, all of a sudden, B1 droid is there. So our good buddy B1 joined us with some of his minions. We tried to go towards both engineering and the main power source, just to get some power back on the station. Gravity is on, but nothing else is on. Is that correct?
That was correct.
Yeah. So, as we do, we kind of split up. But before we do, Thea surprised us with a task from Vulcan, Carla's father / also one of the heads at the forge. Pretty new light foils for all of us to try out. So we all got some nice light foils. I got a pretty pink one just in time for the Barbie movie. And so we're going through.
So was it wrapped in plastic?
It's fantastic. At one point, a group of us got surrounded by 7 Gundarks. We ended up fighting off most of them, but one got away. The other group ended up fighting Minox, which ended up killing. Some of them was a little bit difficult. They were attacking to drain power and all that stuff. But as they tried to get through to the engineering room, they found out that the door is being sucked in the other way, which is weird because it shows that there is a hole going out into outer space. And in there are 5 assassin spider droids. So they end up having to fight them. After the one group that was fighting the Gundarks gets attacked, we try to rejoin together. We're like, it's dangerous. So we try to join back to engineering. We're fighting off the assassin droids. The assassin droids, one ends up in space and then ends up jetting back because it has jetpack.
I'd say, dude.
And through all this, one of them is about to self-destruct. Most everybody escapes, but they stay behind with B1 because he uploaded himself into one of the assassin droids, and it goes beep, 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 and that's where we left off.
It's roughly where we left off.
Oh, we missed out on the squishy ship. Martin needs to finish in that bit because that's funny.
Well, one of the ones that did fly outside was heading towards your starship, got run into
Oh,
by
yeah,
a B1
too.
ship, and left a big
Yeah,
dent
that
at the
was
side
a
of the station.
Bad time. Sorry, there's dogs fighting in front of me. Sorry.
Are they hoping that the one who wins gets the next morsel of food you have?
They're just like, we're gonna fight over who gets to be on the lap. No, they're getting excited because they're gonna go for a walk with my husband. So.
Okay, so what I'm going to ask you is, it's been 10 days since the beeping. What has your character done since then?
10 days. Oh gosh.
What has Kayana done in the 10 days since you left Thea with the beeping of the explosive?
Okay. Kayana would have tried to identify all remaining life forms on the station, if possible, or to the best of her ability.
Okay. What would Khalid be doing in those 10 days?
Let's see. Well, Vibro sort of side. What? So was that with the engine? I should say the. Was it? Yeah, the engine bay. Just try to see if I can patch that up, so we don't actually have a big hole in the bloody side of the ship or the station.
Okay. And what was Ash doing for 10 days?
I would go check on the other group down to engineering, if it's possible. After we've cleared up, and do a bit of search around with Riri. Just make sure there's nothing else here. But if there's, I'll just do a search of the whole ship kind of thing, just to see, make sure everything's all good kind of thing. So unless we're being told about explosions or anything like that, but I'm not sure if we have been. So it's been 2 weeks, so my memory's lost since then. So
It's okay. Last session you were at a cliffhanger, but was
This
that right?
station doesn't have mouse droids, do they?
You don't know. You haven't really explored the entire station. Okay, so Mike, your character's been on a station infested with various creatures. What would he do for 10 days?
For 10 days.
Stay on the stable ship and wait till they finish?
Yeah, probably because I don't like mice and bugs.
Well, these bugs were as big as you were.
I mean,
It's not like you
them
can
anyhow.
it's not like you can just eat them as you normally would.
Yeah. No, I'd stay on our ship, monitoring for that thing that escaped and got hit. Did that survive, or?
It did not. It left an imprint on the side of the
Right,
station.
okay. Well, okay, I don't need to keep an eye on that thing then. Yeah, I'll just stay on the ship and continue practicing on my station play console for the next race that's coming up.
No one's looking for Thea.
No.
Just noting.
I was gonna say, like, that would possibly be, like, if we don't know where Thea is, then part of my like trying to identify life forms would be part of finding Thea if she's missing.
Just saying. That's all. I'm good if you don't look for me.
Well, we could also reference Finding Nemo for it.
Yeah.
So, Ariadna, what was Thea doing in those 10 days?
Ariadne is currently arguing with a coffee machine. Can she get back to you?
She can get back to me. Okay, so it has been 10 days. You have managed to get the engineering patched up in that time, so it's no longer leaking atmosphere.
That's good.
And though it has taken you most of that time to do that,
Yeah, that's why I was going, yeah, that's more important than trying to either fix my vibro sword or tinker with these light rapier things.
and in that time, you've had Ash and Kayana hunting through the ship looking for other vermin that might cause issues.
Yeah, I just have a slight problem with, say, Ash, and he's looking for xenomorphs.
There would have been the discussion about no, you must leave your gun. No, you must leave your gun a couple of times on Saturday the party.
Nah, I think it's more of Ash getting infected by the xenomorphs.
Oh, okay. I thought it was more that Ash was bringing the gun around and shooting every hole in the place. But okay.
No, I'm sure Ash was the one that got infected in Alien.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yes, it was. Yes.
I'm sure we will have a recreation of that sometime soon.
Don't suggest things to me, guys. Seriously.
Well, if it's like out of Spaceballs, it's all right.
Well, it just keeps happening to him.
Yeah. Keep suggesting things to him. It's not a good thing. Just put it out there, guys. Just saying what I'm thinking.
Well, just don't go to the space cafeteria.
So, starting off in the cafeteria.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
So, engineering seems to be patched back up.
Okay.
Anything with that? Do we is power back on throughout the station?
No, because you're prioritizing
Holes.
holes. Because
Yeah.
you did break most of the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to have an atmosphere while playing around in engineering.
Oh, did the droid break most of that? I'm trying to remember last week. The droid broke most of the doors last week? Last time?
And the party. We can
Yeah,
close that
we had to
open.
break doors to get in, I believe.
Yeah, I was hoping we could say blame the droid, that's all. It's okay. I'm okay with whatever happens.
Plus, you all had these handy dandy light foils that could cut holes in things.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty clean, so I was pretty happy with my setup. The droid, I'm still a bit sussy about the droid, but that's common sense.
Okay, you believe you managed to get most of the vermin on the station.
That's good. I'm guessing. How many more gun barracks were there?
There was about 20 all up.
Oh gosh. A lot.
And it turns out that you walked right through their nesting ground.
Gotta say, we never planned well, so.
If you're going to do a job properly, you might as well just go straight to the source. Old Ash saying.
If anything, we've just learned always go head first into the problem. That's always the solution.
Yes, I see no problem with your thinking.
Absolutely.
And every now and then you get updates from Brum Brum saying he's managed to get a new record on the simulator. Yes.
With that, did we have to worry about the assassin droid heading towards our ship, or did it head towards B1's ship? What do we know of what happened to B1?
Well, what you found out with what happened with the assassin droid is B1 ship ran into it into the side of the station
Oh, yeah.
and left a smear of it, and the other ones that flew out through the hole exploded in a spectacular fashion.
Last grinding.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
But so far, you still don't have power up and running or life support inside.
Okay. Can I, after I've done my sweep, can I, if B1's done what B1's had to do, work with B1 about fixing power supply kind of thing? You know, just as a sidekick?
Well, when you go looking for B1, he seems to have disappeared.
I say out loud, typical droids, and I'll go have a look at the power system myself. So unless somebody else wants to join me.
Well, you went to engineering, and you find engineering has actually got patchwork over where the hole was. Because the hole was 3 meters wide. Took a
Okay.
while for him to fix it.
Okay, well, I'll make sure it's fixed properly and make sure there's no way it's going to break before I look at doing the power kind of thing.
Okay,
but
so give
power's
me.
gone up,
So
yeah.
what is your mechanics roll?
Mechanics roll? I should be, according to my... I'm going to do mechanics, but I've got 4 intelligence, so that should be 4 greens.
Okay, so you're going to critique Ross's work.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Who actually does have the mechanic skill and a toolkit.
Still. I'm being safe here.
Okay, so you got one advantage, but you're not really sure it's safe.
Yeah, my go. A Ross, Lead,
Yeah.
you sure that it's okay? And I'll point out a few things I'm a bit sussy about.
Yeah, I haven't fixed the door yet.
Oh, I thought you said you fixed it.
I've fixed the hull.
Oh, okay. I thought you fixed the door. Okay.
Pointing at the wrong thing would mean that he hasn't fixed it yet.
Okay. Cool. I'll let you get back to it. I'm sure you'll fix it soon. Then I'll look at the power supply. So, if he hasn't done it already. So.
He has not had time to get to the power supply as you walk up to one of the most complex machines you've ever seen in your life.
Bloody well. And I say, you know, it would be handy to have a droid here that could fix this kind of stuff. Say out loud.
You do, but unfortunately you don't have comms with the droid, so he wouldn't hear you normally anyway.
No, I'm just saying this out loud to get frustration out. You know, typical droids, I say to myself. Always good to talk it up and never turn up to do the proper job. So. I go ask Letty, do you want to hand look at this engine or this power supply setup?
Yeah. I have to take my time with that one because it's a mess.
Yes.
It's also bigger than a Star Destroyer's power supply.
Yeah, so basically something like this, I would need an army of pit droids.
You've got Ash.
Don't we have all these sidekicks on the ship?
What ship?
Oh, our main ship. Didn't we have bring a few people with us? Like
You do
trainee?
have a couple of trainees with you, but
Yeah, I believe we have.
Do they have?
Hold on. We have my cousin. We have a different trainee.
One
We
of
have.
the mine I had wouldn't come with me. That kept-
Yeah, I think there was 3.
and they're currently on the bridge of your freighter, making sure that it's currently manned in case pirates come.
No, that's very cool. Okay.
It'll be very easy to take off with that ship if you have enough people on board.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was no idea that I had in my head. I'll sing that out loud. Well, okay, well, looks like Led, it's you and me till that silly droid comes back. So, whenever you read to lead the way, I'll help you out. And that's what I'll say.
Oh, good.
I was gonna say, doesn't the racer pilot have some skills as well?
He's got lots of skills. Currently, what level did you reach in the game?
Has lots of skills to pay the bills.
Lots
I
of mechanics.
am currently in first place in the Touring Cars Championship.
Nice.
And how many hours left until you finish the championship? 3 days?
Yeah, roughly. I mean, there's the Bathurst race and a few other send down the Bathurst. So yeah, about 3 days.
Okay. So you get that call waiting message from Brum Brum's message bank saying he's currently busy. You're very important to him, and he'll get back to you as soon as Gundamly possible.
Oh god.
Have you brought snacks? And then it goes beep.
That's funny.
But of course, there was a big pause in between where people normally talk.
Like, hello. I'm not available right now.
I have left messages like that on purpose.
Yeah, I used to have voicemail.
People say when I answer the phone that I sound like I'm a voicemail, and so people just don't talk for a second, because I'm always like, "Hi, this is Kelsey with LRS." Like, just so I...
Hold on, I just realised that. I'd go, Gungans. It's like, droids, Gungans. It's only us Mandalorians seem to have to do the work all the time. And I'm saying this out loud when I lead. So. It's a Death Watch, anti-Death Watch kind of, rant of racism. So the best I can do without being too bad.
So does Khalid believe he can get the main engines back up online with just Ash as support?
Is there? Can I look at other systems other than the engine? Is there other abilities to get power, or does the power actually come from the main engines?
The rest of the power of the ship has drained since the main engines have been offline.
Okay, so I need the main engines to charge up everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
I on the pat led in the back said, "You've got this. We can work this out." Being very motivational and positive.
Yeah. Okay. What could possibly go wrong?
Hey, I whispered to him, "Go. You know we could blame the droid because the droid might have done something."
Yep, fair enough.
I was gonna say, what could possibly go wrong? Is that like our group's motto, or?
That's where the GM says, "Big boom."
Well, the thing
Cut
is,
the
if it
credits.
goes a big boom, I know nothing because I didn't feel anything.
I'm positive that we weren't doing anything wrong.
Yeah, we just need to be slow and steady.
That's right. Yeah, take our time. Don't rush it. I'm sure we'll be fine. I have faith in Led. See, I'm being positive, motivated here.
Yep, so I'm pitching you intelligence.
I'm gonna say, it sounds like Ash has been getting some motivational interviewing skills with Thea.
That's right. Yes. Thea has taught me how to be a bit more positive instead of just blasting away things. Well, I do like blasting away things, but
That part's always fun.
it's always fun. Especially with a big gun and you can hurt it really bad and you can give it to yourself afterwards. I'm sorry, I'm getting out of it.
Excuse me.
Okay. So, Ash is going to help you get it up and running.
Yeah, so I'm going to be, using my Fortnighly to help out Ross. So that's what I thought might be handy.
So you're going to lean over his shoulder and tell him how he should be doing it?
No, more than I'll just be there to say, if he says, click that, click this, cut that, weld this, I'll just help out that way. I'm not going to lean out and say, do you miss that bit? No, I'm not going to do that because I'll be positive.
I'm positive you missed that bit.
No negative in this. We're a team. Team of great people.
And when it goes wrong,
Teamwork.
Ash is getting. I don't know what's happened to Ash recently. Ash has just gone into this sort of like watching too many this Mr. Robbins videos that were back at the training area. My new kind of clan that I joined. So,
and he's been brainwashed by it's all about family.
Yes. It's like families, everything. It's like, oh, okay, and stuff I didn't get taught in.
It's just all 30 of the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, that's what I was watching. Yeah, Fast and Space, or Space and Furious. Yeah, they're called. That looks alright. I hope.
Maybe. Okay.
I'm feeling good.
I feel like that.
Okay,
I
so
like that.
we hear a bit of a grinding noise as you start trying to get everything up and running. And it echoes through the station.
That does not sound good. I'll comms to them. You'd be like, I don't think it's meant to make that noise.
Can we see where this grinding noise is coming from at all, from where we are looking at?
No idea. It's a big chamber. So you could probably fit most of a football field inside the engine compartment where all the engine components are.
Okay.
Big station.
It is a very big station, but the power supplies of Star Destroyers are almost that big themselves.
Hey, Lynn, you're going to find out the grinding noise is first before you enter further? What do you think?
Okay. I reckon there's a B1 in a cog somewhere.
Sounds plausible.
Either that or we didn't get all the infestation and there's probably something nesting in the engines.
Now, my gun's on like my brace at the back of my thing. I pick up the foot. Oh, I can clean that out and pick up the big gun. Oh no, sorry. We're on a start. Yeah. Sorry. I'll bring out my little lightsaber thingy. Okay. If we can find out what direction it is, I'm happy to go have a look at it.
And while Khalid's doing the playing with the control panel, trying to get it to work, it does flash up that the starter motor is not working.
A good old starter motor.
Apparently, it's got a external startup motor designed to kick off the main engines, because the main engines can't start up on their own.
Okay, cool. So we'll start that one up first.
But that's the one that made all the grinding noise.
Yeah, so we'll have to probably overhaul that one. Because we're probably overhauling the wrong engine.
So this starter motor is outside the ship. That's what you're saying?
No, it's in the same room you're in.
Okay. I get out my little sparkly weapon. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to call it sparkly weapon because it sounds better. And I'll. Okay. So where exactly? Khalid? Where are we? Oh, I'm Lynn. Where do I go?
Okay, we'll find where the starter motor is.
Give me, what is your character's perception?
Damned. Perception. That's cunning, isn't it? Yes, so I've got a cunning of 3 and a perception of 1.
Which, if you look up your perception skill, says you have 1 yellow, 2 green, and no blue.
Yep. glad I increased my cunning.
You have a cunning plan, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay, so heading off to where you believe the starter motor is, you managed to find one of the fuel reserves, but no starter motor. It does take you about half an hour to get there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll still have to hunt around for it then.
It wasn't where you thought it was.
Now.
Okay, so both you and Ash end up with 2 strain.
Okay. We are thinking very hard. So.
As you've been having to rush between different levels to try to find it, you eventually find what appears to be the starter motor. And luck would have it, it's still got all its fuel pipes attached to get it running. Did roll a triumph after all. Something good's supposed to happen for triumph.
Okay, that's good. That's a good sign, isn't it? Led.
Yep.
So we just need to find out the grinding thing is. Reckon we could take off if it's got a lead or something like that, and just have a look in there, see if we can see any loose part, mechanical or stuff that might have been here previously that might have just left things in there, like, yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look inside, see what's loose on there.
Okay, you lift up the maintenance hatch and you find what appears to be a foot from a B1 droid. Apparently the B1 droid was repairing the generator when you switched it on.
Okay. I wish B1 droids would tell us this. Okay.
I don't think you'd be very happy about that.
No, it doesn't fuss me. I'm still upset about B1 droids. So.
At least you now got a foot.
Okay.
No, you just say that it cost an arm and a leg to get this started.
I give him a fist pump when he says that. Try not to swear. I'm trying to be the new Ash, and I gently try to take out the foot, without causing issues.
Well, the foot's been completely severed.
I know, but take it out of the machine, like, so it doesn't break anything.
Well, we need to take the rest of the B1 out of the machine.
Okay.
You want to climb?
I don't know. I'm happy to help with lead on this one, just to clear out that all B1. I'm going to call it gunk.
So does this mean that lead climbs into the generator?
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Should we disconnect the power first, just to make sure?
Yeah, we'll disconnect it all so it doesn't power up.
Yeah.
Well, the only real thing that it's got is the fuel source. You can disconnect the fuel source.
Yeah, we'll do anything that's not going to make it kind of start up. Then we don't want to be mixed into the B1 droid. It's probably the exact words we're trying to use.
Okay, so do you just cut the pipe?
There should be an off valve system or something like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking more the off valve. We don't want to make more things fixed later. We're looking for something just to turn off the fuel for a bit.
Well, honestly, you don't cut a fuel line unless you want a big explosion.
No.
Well, the fuel line is hardwired into it. They never expected to have to switch the thing off.
That's a bad
We're not
design,
going to get
what do you
another
reckon,
explosion,
Lee?
are we?
This must be Imperial base because only they have shortcut safety procedures.
No, this is pre-Empire, pre-Rebellion. The Old Republic didn't have a say in it, so it predated them.
How much does
We could call Brumham up to see if he wants to go in there and take all
Quite
the
a
stuff
bit.
out.
Depends on if you're in the
might have better
shockwave.
mechanics and computing skills for this.
Well, actually, the thing is, I'm not used to fixing something this big.
No, look, I'm gonna try on the comms again, Brum Brum, see if I get any response.
I don't think
Does
you're
Brum
gonna
Brum
get
pick
him
up
from
this
the
time when
comms.
your phone rings?
Sure, because I've just won the championship.
So,
Hello.
how do you respond with the woohoo?
I respond with a hoi hoi.
Hey, Brum Brum, you got a second to help us down in the I call it engine bays, or not? It's more the power.
It is
power
main.
bay.
It is main engineering
Correction,
of the
let's
Yeah,
station.
in main engineering, we've got an issue that we need your long arms for.
Correction, I should have said that as Misa say hoi.
Yeah, Misa say hoi. Yeah.
Misa say sure. Where am I?
Come for main engineering, and I'll yell out so you can hear where I am.
Alright, so how do I get from
You put your helmet on, seal it in place with the making sure it's airtight because there's no air on the station,
right, okay. Alright, so I put
which will make it interesting when he yells for assistance.
yes. Okay, so I put my helmet on and
Pick up a toolkit.
Grab my toolkit, not just any old toolkit. And I start up my jetpack and
Scoot on over.
scoot on over to the space station and can you light up on my heads-up display as where I am in relation to where the where you guys are?
Sure, if I can do that. I'm not sure if I've got all the equipment to do that one, but I'll give it a go. Stars. If I have to meet you at the space station, I have to meet
Snacks
you
might
there.
be nice. So yes, he says he'll meet you because he doesn't actually have a map of the station yet. No one mapped it.
Fine. Alright, so I shall sit here and wait for Ash to come to take me to where I need to go.
Okay. So Ash gets to make a, I believe it is a survival check to lead you back.
I've got 2 dice.
I know exactly where I'm going, he says as he starts to lead you back through the maze of a ship. Apparently he does know exactly which way he's going, but you both end up with 1 strain from the result.
Oh, thinking very hard again.
And he's taking you to a starter motor for the main engines, which the starter motor being the size of probably a garage.
Mm-hmm.
You could fit probably 1 or 2 cars in.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so the problem we got here is that one of the B1 units decide to jump inside the starter motor. Now, I don't know why, can't explain it. Droids, they're not the smartest things out there. Dave's going to hate me for this. But we need to pull the droid out of the starter motor without causing damage to the system. So I'm not sure of how long you've got long arms. I thought you might be, and you're a bit of a mechanical guru. I've heard from people around the place, kind of thing. So unless you've got a better way of trying to pull this droid or what's left of the droid out, I think. And I point to the foot that we see.
I grab the foot and wiggle to see if it is loose or if it's jammed into the machine, into the starter motor.
Well, the leg had been severed at some point.
Oh, right, okay.
And by the looks of things, it had been bouncing on top of the fan.
Always fun. Okay, so I shall open up my toolkit and I shall pull out my
Nice chromed tools.
chromed plasma cutter and my vibranium Phillips head screwdriver. And I
A minute there, I thought you were going to say your vibranium sonic screwdriver.
and he said it's as big as a garage. Okay, so I squeeze my way
Too
into
much?
the opening and take the tools in and assess the damage of how badly jammed in the leg is into the main coupler holding in the
By the looks of things, the B1 droid was repairing the starter motor. There's lots of new repair marks in there.
Mm-hmm.
And had almost finished completing the repairs when someone turned on the motor.
Yeah, that would probably do it.
And it was sort of partway to the bottom of the main generator of the starter motor. So it was through about 3 different sets of blades.
Right. Okay, so I shall
Yeah, I'm not going to win that war.
no.
Therion, off. 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 You tap his butt. Off. Off. You know you've been told off. You just tap his butt and then put the crate where so it can't sit there. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's got a record for...
He's pooped on there already.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I hold the leg or the foot with my left arm and start working at dislodging the leg from the fan.
Well, you've considering they had pulled it out to show you, the leg wasn't lodged. It was the rest of the B1 that was lodged.
Oh right. Okay. Rest of the B1 unit. Okay.
But it had been pretty much chewed up by the engine, which made all the clanging and
Right.
grinding sound.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I lift up the hatch
And
and
you managed to plug in the leads that the B1 was just about to plug in that would have allowed you to start up the main engine. He'd unplugged it from the main engine, so it was until he finished repairing it.
right.
I've stolen your chair. The Gungan's gaming chair.
You have. And I see. I grab a right arm of the droid and look at unjamming it from the flux capacitor.
Does this mean the B1 is eventually going to be put back together by the Gungan? Because that's going to be so funny when David finds out.
Quite possibly.
And I can see that it's partially munched into the flux capacitor on the upper arm. So start using the plasma cutter to unjam the arm from the component. And after, do I need to roll?
It takes you about an hour to do.
Okay.
It was fairly simple once you're inside.
Right. Okay. And do I need to do a roll for any of this?
I'll give you a mechanics roll to see if you believe you fixed it.
I've got. I'm trying to read how this.
2 yellow and 1 green. Is Ash going to support the Gungan?
I will, if required.
Which gives you an extra green.
Isn't that 3 yellow and 1 green? Because I've got mechanics 2.
It is. I was just...
Testing your ability to.
No, I think you got
dice.
mechanics 3. I just put mechanics 2 down. For some reason. I think you upgraded your mechanics and I
Yes.
forgot to update
You
it on
did.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yes, you don't actually need the support because he doesn't actually provide anything extra at this stage.
Yep.
Except, he can provide a blue dice if he's got mechanics. Does... Well, okay, so he doesn't provide the blue dice.
Yep.
That's for next level.
You'll get there.
Okay, so feeling really good about yourself. You think you've got it all working and climb out before anyone pushes any buttons.
Okay.
So it worked out
That's
to
the
be...
lesson from this. Double check that there's nobody there before pressing button.
It's okay, Riri, you're not there at the time, so that's okay.
Exactly. I'm probably hanging out with Dance or wherever she is.
Ash has just learned to hate droids more. So.
And yeah, so as I look down on the floor, and as far as I can see,
It's about a third of a droid that you managed to recover from the turbine.
yes.
You need more droid.
And I like try to jigsaw it together, and it's like, okay, so I've got the left leg and the right arm of the droid,
And the butt.
and the butt. So I shall go back into the.
No, you think that it's been minced beyond recognition.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Spare parts.
Spare parts.
There'll be spare parts around.
Okay, so yeah, I
Okay.
don't think we can get any more of this droid out of.
Nah, it's okay. It's just a droid. It's okay.
You can check with Kayana, as she seemed to know the droid, and figure out whether it's B1, B2, or B3.
I contact Kayana on the hollow unit, and
Kayana gets a picture of a disassembled B1 unit.
and do you know, is this someone that you, a droid that you know?
I'll point out. Oh yeah, that looks like B2 perhaps. It's a shame. He just got his new body. So, he'll be all right. He's uploaded. This is a minion. This isn't our B1. Our B1 is a little bit beefier, so we're all good.
Okey-doke. Alright, so
Also, there's multiple copies, so don't feel too bad.
right. Cool. Alright, well, in that case,
I was so hoping you were going to say, that's B1, we need to find the rest of him and put him together. Just so that next time David could go, you'll be put together by a Gungan. We have him to thank.
I mean, technically, this is an extension of himself, so there's that. This is an extension of
all good. I was
his
just
mechanics
commenting.
prowess.
Yep.
If David does watch the video, he'll be shaking his fist at me mentally.
Alright, so we will. I will close the hatch on the starter motor and hit the big green button because the red button's bad. Hit the big green.
Someone watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yes.
Isn't that where they have 2 red buttons?
Actually, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently the big green button was not the right button, as you ended up with a triumph, a failure, and an advantage.
Right.
So with your triumph, you realise it was the big red button you had to push to get it working.
I knew that. I was just testing you all. Okay, so I hit the big red button.
But as after pushing the big green button, you hear the sound of something falling out the back of the machine. More droid parts.
Alright, so is that on the side that we are standing, or is that
on the other side?
On the other side. Okay, so before pressing the big red button, I will. Can I walk around? Okay, so I will walk around the back of the starter motor and see how much of what's left of the droid.
Well, it's got grinded up pieces of arm and the other leg.
Okay.
Because
so,
you can tell where it was stuck in the turbines because there's big chunks missing from those bits.
Right, so we're just missing the torso and the head. Okay, cool. So, can I see from where I am, the part the bit where it came out? Am I able to see if there's any more bits?
Okay, you lift up the disposal hatch of the starter thing, and where it gets rid of any excess stuff that it can't use.
Yep.
And looking inside, you don't see any other parts of it. You think it might have ground most of that up, but there is a lot of dust in there, so built up carbon from whatever it cut through.
Right. Okay. So I close the little disposable hatch and head back around to where the big red button is, and hit the big button.
Apparently you fixed everything as it starts to come alive with a bit of a squeal before it gets itself back into motion.
And Misa says, "Ta-da!"
I'm very impressed there, Brum.
And then you see the main turbine between it and the other generators start to spin as it seems to pick up enough speed.
I mean, any mechanic knows that.
And then you get the skyscraper size engines start to slowly turn over.
Oh, a million kilowatts.
I was gonna say.
We probably should be getting out of here now, so I think it's working. Okay, come on, Lip.
Yep.
Do we need to take the droid pieces with us, or?
I'll carry the droid the best way I can.
Alright, so
Sack.
we shall head back to rendezvous with Kayana.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll make it count at the entrance of main engineering. So I think she was watching us. So,
Okay, you meet
and,
Kayana at the entrance to main engineering, and you realise that the ship hasn't, the space station hasn't taken the power anywhere else. You don't think any of the ships, the station's core systems have booted up yet.
Misa say, "Gooey."
Well, you did think last session that someone had to get to the bridge control center and reboot the main computer when you finally get power.
I will.
I'm feeling vibes of Jurassic Park here.
Well, they didn't even have emergency power running because it had drained itself dry.
Just watch
I
out.
have talked to him about watching it again.
Yeah, just watch out for the velociraptors and the
And the gun ducts.
He hasn't asked you to roll initiative yet,
Um,
but it's early in the night, I think.
It is.
okay.
Short night.
I think we should. Where was it? The bridge before? Was it?
No one made it to the bridge before.
Okay.
Not a single person made it there.
Okay. So if we're done down here, we're going to head up to the bridge and as a team and make sure we're clearing the air on the way through, I think. So I'm happy to take the lead. So I'll unless somebody's better at doing directions than I am. So hint survival.
Hint who?
Survival. I'm going to. I mean,
Someone who's got survival.
So, it looks like Ash is leading the way to the bridge because Ash believes he's so fantastic at it that he'll. Well, he did succeed last time.
yeah. Okay.
There's nothing to tell him otherwise that he would not succeed this time.
So, what
That's
could
right.
possibly go wrong is I pick up some red dice.
That's scary. Oh.
Okay, so all of you end up taking 2 strain as you find yourself in an area that is quite shocking to be in. As you all get a little bit of jolts from the surrounding area. Power is leaching off into this area.
Okay, so physically shocking. I was just like, is there like dead bodies or what? Oh, physically shocking. Got it.
Yep. So I go to hey
Can you see?
Yeah.
hey Kia
That's right in my
or
phone.
Thea, depends on what you want to call that. Do you mind just putting us in the right direction? I might have misplaced the direction of the bridge again. Sorry.
Sorry, me. I'm lost
Yeah.
in space right now.
Are you on the? Is she on the ship?
I am literally lost in space right now.
She may actually
Oh.
be in the bridge, but the player is currently with the fairies.
Okay.
No,
I'll try to ask somebody else if they want to try to find the way the right way.
Kind of will. Right.
I'm currently missing in real time right now. Thea, the character. So, are you asking Ariadna, the player, to give you player knowledge directions? Because I can do that, but Thea's missing right now.
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, I realised. So
That's okay. I went missing at the start of the session. No one's looked for me yet.
Well, we were
gonna
going to
say,
get back
like,
to you and
Kayana
say what you had
was-
done,
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
you seemed a bit out of it, so I'd let you.
Yeah, no, I did ask Martin to give me low-level play today because I'm not feeling very well.
Gotcha. No worries.
no problem.
That's why I'm almost lying down in my chair.
So, Thea may actually be in the med bay on the main ship.
Perhaps if she got a little bit explosion, so I'll have to see. Kayana could help. She's
Kayana has,
1 in survival, but she doesn't have a high cunning.
Are you sure you got 1? I've got you down as having 0 survival and 2 in cunning. You've got 2 in vigilance, 2 in streetwise, 1 in skullduggery, but nothing in survival.
I thought I took that the second time that we upgraded.
You may have it. It may not have been added across different things. I even looked at the character sheet.
I have it on the sheet.
You do have it on the sheet?
Are we
Then-
looking to
Yeah.
see if I've got survival so I can help people out? Is that why?
It's okay. She's
But the
got 1
problem
working.
becomes is I just don't have that high of a cunning, so
I've
I would
got-
maybe confer with Carlin on this.
My cunning's pretty low.
I've got 3 in cunning.
Yeah.
So who does Kayana trust to help her navigate?
I think Carlin's got 4.
Believe. Let me double check those pages.
Is that right? No. Don't have the access to the sheets.
I have to turn around and flick between pages. Look,
Sorry.
I'm just trying to get people to tell me, so I'm not having
So
to flick
that they're
between all the
actually looking
pages.
themselves up. Okay.
Yes, because if I'm constantly checking myself, then
Fair
no one
point.
else checks.
Fair point.
I will trust Carlin to assist me.
How?
Is Carla assisting?
Yeah, but what
You've got an engine.
skill sets do you
Yeah.
require for this? Or are you just going to try to bring up the ship's schematics?
Well, doing
That
survival because you don't have the ship schematics because the
Yeah.
main computer system's down.
Okay, so maybe we should get the person who's the big game hunter might be able to help us.
We just went through
Possible, but they would be in Medbay or off somewhere elsewhere.
this.
So
Sorry, I was just saying, Ross, that I've asked Martin to give me low-level involvement in tonight's game.
Yeah.
I had a lot of injections. I had some
Oh, that's
up
okay.
front,
Yeah.
and they just.
I'm willing to help, but
Basically,
I'm
it
more
would just be
familiar
like,
with the streets and that.
because I have, well, as long as we're accepting that I have one skill in it, that'll
We'll
just
accept you
bring
have
the
one
dice
skill.
pool to 1 yellow, 2 green, if we go metagaming.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Khalid has 2 in cunning, or 3 in
I
cunning?
have 3 in cunning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it could be either.
Okay.
Dang it.
Okay, so apparently between the 3 of you, you go the wrong way again and end up with 4 strained.
This is not good. We're not doing great.
I was gonna say, I don't think you could find me in medbay anyway.
Well,
Okay,
medbay wouldn't be on the
okay.
station.
Where would it be?
It'd be on the ship outside that actually has power, so you can actually get healing in the medbay instead of just sitting in the dark waiting. So, what's plan C?
I'm not looking
Have we
good.
been to this space station before?
You've never reached the command center because you've been so busy hunting vermin
I
and
mean, prior to coming here for this particular thing, was this one that we worked on, like?
you had spent a little bit of time here, but only visiting, not actually going to the command
Can
area.
we spend a fake dice for one fake thingy for one of us to remember from the time that we've been here before, at least a rough good direction for the bridge?
Problem is, last time they never actually went to the bridge.
Okay.
They've never been in any of the command areas of any space stations.
Okay, alright. Well, I was just asking if it was possible to kind of give them an option.
Yeah, it's a good thought.
It is a good thought.
Technically, we can't discount that he hasn't been on a space station.
A good chance that Brum Brum may have gone
Can
to a
we
space
spend
station.
a fake dice that Brum Brum's been on this space station to know where the bridge is? Would that be more acceptable?
More likely than what the party has, yes. But does Brum Brum want to do so?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, it is entirely up to you, Mike.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I just was trying to logistically look at a way that you guys could actually get to where you're going.
So what is Brum Brum's survival?
Survival is zilch,
Yep,
3 cunning.
3 cunning at least.
Okay, but because you've been here before, the difficulty is a lot less.
Thank you.
I mean, there's always a chance you can take you the wrong way.
Thea may not be there in real life, but she's there in spirit.
Okay, so you take them through a path that they basically have wonky gravity, so they keep hitting the ceiling, the walls, the floor, as they're moving through it. So they each
Oh
take...
my god, this is a comedic view that I'm having of you guys just bouncing into everything and each other.
So everyone ends up taking one more strain as they go through.
I'm sorry.
But you finally reach the command center of the space station. It's the command center space itself is bigger than your light freighter, so it's probably
Wow.
about 30 meters across.
That's pretty big.
Has
I think that's bigger than his house.
it is.
And
Like twice as big as his house.
Misa say from previous experience, everyone look for the big red button.
Ow, ow, ow.
Kaya will try to do a bit of a security sweep to check for any remaining vermin and look for any potential danger areas, such as, like, you know.
What is Kayana's perception?
I have 2. I believe.
Having been a leader before, would you also direct your
Just 2 yellow dice.
offsiders to do the same?
Yeah.
I can help out because I've got, 1 in perception and what's that? Is that willpower?
It is
Cunning.
Cunning.
So you can add
1
an
plus
extra dice.
3. So 1 in perception and I've got 3 cunning.
Okay, so then I, with
Give
my
her one
video, that just
green.
adds a green.
Okay. So apparently that's everything you needed because you ended up with 2 successes, an advantage,
Nice.
Well, 3 successes, an advantage, and a triumph.
Well done.
All I know is there was no red dice. So that's why I knew I was not going to despair.
Yeah.
And apparently along the way, Broom Broom finds the big red button and pushes it. And before you can say no, don't push that, a countdown starts coming through the speakers, and as it gets down to 5, it says computer restarting in 3, 2.
Oh god, that would have given you a moment of panic.
But it was counting down 10, 9, 8, and then said computer restarting in 3, 2, 1, and then lights start coming up all over the place of the command center as the computer reboots.
Yeah. Ash is at the door, slamming against the door because I've only got 4 train left. What a day. Kind of thing. So.
Yeah, that's a day.
But hey, whoever built this station obviously had a sense of humor.
You need a
No, that's
splash.
right. I want to move after I hear the sound, but I'm too tired to get up after the sound. So it's
To
like,
be fair, it is a big red button. What do you expect?
And
What
look,
do you expect, as in nobody could resist pressing that thing? Or
Absolutely.
what do you expect?
And so, like, big red buttons, usually with exploding things. So it's just funny. So whoever built the station is ultimately a nerd, is what I'm getting.
I'm getting that they're a bit of a sadistic nerd.
And they're obviously a big nerd because the text you see scrolling across the screen is not in a language you're familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
As someone's obviously used some form of archaic language as it's going through its boot up routine.
Latin.
Definitely.
Bitmojis.
But all the colouring seems to be predominantly red. Maybe that's a good thing. Red is good, green is bad.
That's what maybe that's the whole station.
And blue is, oh crap, you're in for it now.
I look at the lit up computer panel and everything seems to be checking out.
Besides the symbols you can't read, the shapes and all that it's the diagrams they're showing seem to be saying that you've got gravity coming back and life support starting to kick back in online now that you've got power to the life support. The shielding over the bays is starting to come back online. And you're sure that whoever ran this station last had a overlay on top of the computer system so they could actually understand what was going on. You just need to find where they hid that in the computer system.
What if I look in this drawer here, right next to the console? Surely there's something in there. It's a touchscreen console, and I start swiping. I'll swipe right, looking for.
Try to find a match.
The overlay match.
Okay, I will give you a
computers check.
computer check. We do.
I've got 1 in computers and 3
green dice.
Yeah. I don't know if that's cunning or presence.
That is intellect.
Oh,
So
in that case
basically,
it's 4.
So the number of dice is dependent on the characteristic used, and the number of yellow dice is dependent on your skill in it.
Right, okay.
So when you add both those numbers together, it equals the characteristic.
Right, okay. Yep.
So that's why it's 4 dice in total, but one of them is yellow.
Right, yep.
Okay, so looks like as you're flicking through it, you seem to throw the gravity around a little bit again, and what was the ceiling becomes the floor, and what was the floor becomes the ceiling. And you seem to rotate that a couple of times as you're spinning through the environmental controls. As such, everyone gets to take 2 more strain.
Ash is going to be unconscious in like
too strange.
Everybody's gonna need a nap after this.
Do that.
Yeah.
You wake
I
up
think I
And-
might have like 4 left or something like that.
Everyone's got more strain than I do.
I'm gonna say.
So Mark's on 12 strain taken, Ross is on 11 strain taken, Kesley's on 9 strain taken, and Mike's on 10 strain taken.
It's 12 strain, I'm passing out. So I'm probably that.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking of the wrong character. I've only got a willpower of 2, so I'm really, really tired at the moment.
Okay,
And
and you,
Gungan does something again to the ship, I'm probably going to be unconscious.
and you seem to have found the overlay because it's the only thing in the system written in BASIC.
Hooray!
I'm just making the Gungan the equivalent to Rocket, and the rest of you guys the equivalent to the pirates on Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where he makes them go up and down in the forest.
Yep.
Presuming you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sounds very accurate, I think.
What goes up then goes down.
Yeah.
Passed out, so I have no idea.
Okay, so yes, and once that comes in, you realise that you were doing the flip the environment while you were going between screens. It says swipe right to flip the environment.
Oh well.
But hey, now you know how to do it whenever you need to.
Exactly.
Why would
Okay.
you need to do that? Why?
Someone's lost something. Let's flip everything upside down so it falls out of place.
Okay, so I now turn on all the lights on the space interior of the space station.
It says it's lit up 9,000 of the 20,000 bulbs.
That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And
Gonna be a lot of work for droids.
So does this become the whole how many B1 droids does it take to screw in light bulbs?
It
Yeah.
does. All of them.
11,000 bulbs. I look on the computer system for any other life forms on the ship.
I think this is.
Okay,
possibly
so
a
that
good
will be
idea.
a computer roll to kick off the scan.
Okay, so yep, 1 plus 3.
Okay, so you seem to scan through the whole system. You take an extra strain as your... Oh, no, actually you take no strain at all. You manage to cancel that one out. But you do get a tryout. Searching through it, you see that the reason why most of the lights are off is cabling has been damaged through the core of the ship, the station. Because it did have a Monarch infestation that Kayana had cleaned out.
That's true.
And they chew on the power cables.
Right.
But you think that you could probably get 10% of the station operational in a few days, with the rest of it requiring more supplies and people.
Right.
But we built it, so they will come.
And it had a couple of references in there to archaic text used on the core operating system, so it's very hard to program it to do anything it wasn't meant to.
So it's written in DOS.
Yeah, that's about right. God, that feels like a lifetime and a half ago.
Could be Kerbal, which is even worse than
Yeah,
DOS.
Kobold, yeah.
Unix.
Unix is very flexible. They can make Unix do many things. Kerbal, on the other hand, is a complete pain in the butt to work with. Looking at it, it has no perimeter defense, but the shielding is, you could probably get it up to 5% for about 10 minutes.
Right, okay.
The core fuel rods of the station are operating at about 5% efficiency, matching
Wow,
the...
this place is wrecked.
It had not been well maintained because when Darylin fell, all the maintenance that came here to keep it running also dropped off.
Wow.
it was, the notes do say it was a subsidiary of one of the main mining companies, and they deleted the records that the mining company
You should
owned
just
it
call it
at the
True
time the
Strikers.
Empire had taken the plot.
That's the,
So the Empire doesn't know that this was once owned by the mining company.
it's the SS Ford.
And
Yeah, the SS.
also notes down that there is a Alamaran downside, which is a colony built from the survivors of Darylund.
Were they the people who were here before Gundarks and all that over took place?
They were here before, but they left around the same time that a Inquisitor arrived.
That'll do it.
So it's been probably about 2 years since anyone's been maintaining the station.
Are we able to use the ship's computer to see if Thea is
So at this point, I should ask you if I'm allowed to do what I was going to do.
What did you want to do?
Could I have put out a distress signal to my clan, True Strikers, to tell them that I'm here and that I'm in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
and then have been picked up in a mysterious ship?
Sure. So the system does show that there is a mysterious ship leaving the system with a communication message. Who does you send the message to?
To my aunt, probably.
No, on the space station.
On the space station? Oh.
What message do you leave? Someone
To-
specific to have to deal with everything while you're gone.
For these ones that I've sent a message to, I'd leave it to Kayana because I consider her and Carla equal seconds, so those two. And it'd be that I've asked the True Striker people to come and help. So hopefully they'll be there soon. And that I'm going to get medical attention.
Okay, so odd or even. So I will get if it's odd, it will be Kayana that gets the message.
Oh,
Okay. So message comes through to Khalid.
That's fine. Both of them are equal.
Saying that you have been directed to look after things until Thea gets back, having gone off for medical assistance that your ship wasn't capable of providing. Good luck, and don't screw it up.
Where's that from?
Okay.
Where's
I
that
have
from?
no idea how to command people around. That's Kyana's occupation.
Well, you could share that with
And-
Kayana.
And considering the status of Kayana in the clan, it'd be better off to have her as Khalid's second.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep,
Actually,
so-
now that I think about
Yep,
it.
so I'll have Kyana as my advisor. And basically,
Yeah. In terms of clan politics, yeah, I forgot that's the way it's supposed to go.
Yep.
I shouldn't
Okay.
treat you as equals. I should technically,
Yeah.
but I treat you as equals because I don't feel the same way my clan feels about Kayana.
Well, giving her as a second is still far
Yeah.
better than the clan would receive her.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Now look, she's had her opinion in the clan lifted up. She's achieved her thing, so she can now retire.
Never.
That hasn't retired. That has just had too many injections.
No, I was saying that about Kayana.
Oh,
Because
right.
Kayana's goal was to get her standing in the clan raised.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna
No,
change my specialist.
Kayla aims for high. She takes this as a great honor. Like, she knows Thea would treat her as an equal. But the fact that it's now official puts her one step closer to her goal.
And after Khalid received his, then Kayana's comm beeps with the same message coming through. So,
Gotcha.
so she finds out about it from Thea as well, instead of just being told secondhand,
Gotcha. Alright.
which is always handy.
I will take this as She won't undermine Carla. She will. If Carla believes that he was put in charge, then Kayana will allow that. But she will also be like, alright, you gotta do this. Whenever someone else is there. But, like, if Carla's there, she'll defer to his opinion to be nice.
So now you gotta get a station up and running.
Yep.
So, now that you've managed to get the power on life support, you can actually take your helmets off for the first time in 10 days.
This could be your base, our home base. This would be really cool. Helmets off would be nice, except I'm betting Ash is like keeping his on.
Cool. So we got that back online. Hopefully, they comes back with supplies. That'd be nice.
Or a surprise, I'm back.
Has anyone noticed Ash's passed out yet? I just thought I'd ask.
No, they have not.
Yeah, no. Kayana would double check on Ash, and then what are the packs that help with strain?
Slap
Is there
packs
one
or
that
happy stim patches?
does that help with wounds, or does that help with strain?
Just looking up the official
one
thing
helps
now.
with wounds, I think, and one helps with strain. And
That's why I can't remember which one's
I
which.
know that there's three. There's stim,
Yeah.
and happy.
Yeah.
Depends on the game system. Which
I
ones?
bought some of all of them.
Yeah, I know we have them.
So it's stim in this one, and it heals wounds.
Was there one that did strain, or no?
I don't think I've got any myself, actually. It's very tough, but...
That's
No.
okay. We've got a med kit on the ship, and everyone's got portable things because I fitted out the whole group with
I've got plenty of wounds, but it's just not enough strain, that's all.
Okay. I believe we'll be able to do the end of scene thing to see if we can
heals.
recover some once I
Yeah.
look up the recovery and healing section.
Yeah, I remember looking at that section. Trying to figure out.
Okay, so because Mark's character is knocked unconscious, he can do a cool check.
That's
Well, the thing is just... I think it's hunting, isn't it? Just 2 green guys there.
how cool are you?
Okay, so so Mark's character recovers 1 whole strain.
That's something.
No more up and down, brum.
And Ross, you get to make either a cool or a discipline check.
Let's see.
Did you intentionally beat the crap out of Ash?
Cool. I'll go for a cool, which is 4 green, thanks.
How cool are you? So that is you recover 3 strain.
Okay, so 1/3 through.
Okay, so Kesley, a cool or a discipline?
I will take discipline, and that'll be 2 yellow.
You recover 1 whole strain.
Woohoo!
And Mike, you get to choose between cool and discipline.
I've got 1 rank in discipline, and is that willpower? And 2 in willpower.
So that means 2 dice total, 1 of them yellow. So you recover 3.
Great.
Nice. The dice aren't trying to kill you.
So when your characters actually take a full night's rest, you recover all your strain. So that's the other way to recover strain.
Yep.
Now this space base, I'm going to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any spot to park our ships or anything like that? Or?
Well, you can park your medium freighter inside one of the docking bays. The docking bays are large enough to fit your massive freighter.
We'll park that in Docking Bay 007.
Yeah, that works.
Yes, what Brum says.
Martin's now making note of it, therefore this is officially so.
I go, can we find just some place just to, and I just sit down and go, I want to sleep here, if that's okay with everyone.
I'll encourage Ash. Like, no, come on, let's get you to an actual place to rest.
Sure.
Go to Med Bay 2.
He just has to go through 3 of those corridors with the fluctuating gravity plates. I'm sure he'll make it.
No, don't go through those. No more. Had enough. No, don't do that to me.
Now with the ship systems back online, can we bring up like a ship's map to see if there
You can. You bring up a map and it shows you what the ship should look like in ideal conditions.
Gotcha. And then from there, are we able to use that to find safe passage with where there isn't wonky gravity or electrifying anything?
It doesn't have any of those electrifying or gravity issues on the map.
I know. Yeah, it wouldn't be on the map. It would be like
The map also
use
shows elevators that you can use,
Oh yes, I do.
assuming that they're working and not broken.
Yeah.
It still sounds like a good place to sleep. Just put it out there.
And there
I'll
is
stand
a,
guard with a heavy gun, sitting on my ass. I'm happy to do that.
there is the leader of the station's office that you've got here, which looks down on the rest of the command center.
There we go. That's probably the best place to go rest.
I stumble up to that direction and find a sort of bed of some sort and just sleep under the desk. So either way. I've had enough today. I've done too much.
I will take Ash up there, and while Ash finds a place to rest, I want to look around the room.
Okay, so there is a decent computer set up here that allows you to oversee the entire station, look at any camera at any time.
Is this 2 in an archaic language?
No, here the Gungan put the overlay on top,
Oh, I see. Nice work.
and it also has buttons to punish people.
What is this moving with gravity for?
It does fluctuate the gravity, electrify the plates, or shoot them out into space.
Oh, God.
Gotcha.
Dealer's
Is
choice.
there? I would say with that art, does it look like any of them are on that I can turn off?
There are quite a few of them locked in the on position. Apparently, the buttons were broken.
Ah, gotcha. I will call over Brew Broom and be like, hey, these are on. I want them off.
I think we all want them off, just for our own sake.
So this is the Squid Games space station.
Just out.
Okay, so I turn off the electrified plates and turn on the gravity in the areas that
Stabilize the gravity instead of
stabilize
having
the
a
gravity.
fluctuate.
Yep. Right. Okay.
Because the fluctuating is like on off.
Right.
on,
Okay.
off.
Yes. Okay. All right. So stabilize the gravity on the ship to the areas that I can control.
So from what you can gather is the command chair was also the punishment station.
Right.
It would punish those who weren't following orders correctly.
Right.
Oh gosh.
What's the rest? And yeah, make sure that oxygen is flowing to the.
You also notice that it has sections where you can actually reduce the level of oxygen or increase it as at need. So you can knock people out or cause them to overload on oxygen.
Right. Okay. And I set oxygen to, normal humanoid levels.
Comes in handy.
Mm.
Though it does have a couple of extra buttons on there for mass. What you would think of is you expect it to be a mass defense, but it seems to be targeted on the living quarters.
Right. I'm seeing there's a green light next to the mass hysteria button. And I...
Though from what you can tell from the translation, it seems to be Quell Uprising.
Quell Uprising. Okay. Which could have potentially problematic results.
Well, even
I
not.
think so.
You think that there's a knockout version and an eliminate version?
Yes. And I would probably say that the knockout version won't be the one that works, it'll be the eliminate one that works. And yeah, so Miso say to Riri that I've done as requested and turned off the electroplates and turned on the gravity and activated the oxygen in the ship to normal levels.
Okay.
Misa say hoi hoi.
With
It's almost
that,
like
I
a
guess
laser,
I will turn to Carlet and just say, should we rest here for a bit, or is there something more that we can do to kind of fix up the station?
I think we need to rest after the what Rob did to most of the team.
I agree. So I think we might rest here in the office for a bit.
I get a slow thumbs up from Ash, pulls it back down, and just kind of falls asleep. So.
You should have ration packs and things like that on you as well.
Yeah.
Oh, is the air working?
We can take helmets off if the question is that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that the command office has its own dedicated environmental system, so you could actually lock it and completely flood the rest of the station with toxins.
Wow.
I'm really curious who was in charge before.
Must be a
Possibly
drawer,
the
so I have
Inquisitor?
false again.
Well, if you would use a Star Trek reference, it would remind you of a Cardassian station.
Nice.
But you'd probably realize through looking at some of the console stuff is it references the Great Sith Empire a lot.
That's fair enough.
Which really did have a similar policy on treating people.
So yeah, I'll pass out bed with
After all this time, the couch is probably as comfy as when it was first made, which means it feels like as hard as a rock.
no. For right now, I'm just sitting there with my big gun across my chest, hanging on to it as much as I can, and pan it before I go to sleep. So. There may be a bit of obsession with the gun, so maybe.
I was gonna say, holding it like a child holds their teddy bear as they go to sleep.
That's what I was getting.
No, it's a bit of a Death Watch thing. So.
Yeah, just don't have a nightmare and prematurely go off.
Exactly.
It's only common sense that's PG tonight, so I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to say anything. So. I'll leave that for Friday night, man. I'll let loose on Friday, okay?
Except on Friday, we're not there this
Yeah.
week.
No Friday.
Yeah, we're all on
That's
Friday
what
this
I
week.
keep forgetting. Oh, okay, well, then I'll pretend to myself let loose on Friday when I'm giggling about things. So.
There you go.
Or you can wait till after stream and let all your jokes out.
I'll do it tomorrow morning. Yeah, if somebody's up for it tomorrow morning, so
Yeah.
when we have coffees. So.
Okay, so yes. You have a rather uneventful night. Though some of you are dreaming of what those button pushers could do to you if you're somewhere else in the station at the time. It does leave you with the question, who can leave in this office while you're out exploring?
Not
the answer is disable
B1.
functions. Definitely not B1. Who's currently AWOL anyway.
But you all wake up and I breathe a sigh of relief as you realize you're all alive.
Yay! I'm glad, because we can breathe. It's usually a good sign after 10 days of not being able to.
Do you do realise that the nighttime, the proper daytime conditions of the command office gives you a nice red lighting?
First thing I do is check over the gun for about 5 minutes, because I do that every morning.
It's still there.
No, I check over, make sure everything's right, everything's connected. I look at Broom the whole time while I do it.
There are a couple of scratches and dents on the outside of the casing due to the gravity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's alright.
I look at Broom, I look at the scratch, I look at Broom, I look at the scratch again. We'll just talk later. And that's what I say.
Misa say buff that out.
So, this interesting red ambient lighting, we might have to look at changing some colors around. Just blue.
Or, I don't know,
Pink.
normal.
Well,
I like blue. And you see all of a sudden I just go, oh, I like blue. And I look at the blue colouring on my armour.
So you sort of find out after reading that it was the Sith Empire why red is good and blue and green are bad.
It
And
makes
just out of
sense, actually.
curiosity,
No,
why
it
is
makes
red
sense,
good
yeah.
and blue really bad?
Everything makes sense now.
Yeah, it makes sense
Because green
better.
and blue are Jedi colours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm like, do the Sith actually have a well-founded reason for preferring red, say, over other colours?
Because
Looks cool.
because they get the most power from a crystal that's red,
Yeah, okay.
and the other crystals, blue and green, just don't work that well for them.
And it's harder to find blue and green in the dark.
They should try purple. Worked for me.
Hey, I go look around. We've still got the half droid with us, right? Is that correct?
You left that in the other room.
Okay.
When you passed out, it sort of just floated away in pieces.
Okay. I'm going to look for the droid to make sure the droid's okay.
Yeah.
And the other droid, and the other droid. There's 3 droids, wasn't there? I have to look at everyone.
Yes.
They weren't with us.
Did we have 3 droids originally? And had
When
the
we first
smartest
got
one
on
and
the
the
base,
smartest.
the station, we came
So,
across big
technically there's
ones,
4.
2 and 3.
4.
And he had another. He had a couple of other ones floating around, but you only saw 3 of them in total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go. If you don't mind, I'm happy to do a bit of a recon just to check every place out. And if all the, and I look at Bruno and I'm saying all the environmental and things are good. We still have electric issues, don't we?
10% of the station is working.
Yeah. So okay, cool. I'll go. I'm going to do a bit of a search around the whole station now that we've got some environmental stuff, and just look for the droids, just to see if they can come back to the command center up here to help out with anything that needs to be done. And anyway, I assume Led told us that he's leading the thing while Kia's getting fixed up. Is that right?
If only 10% of the station is working, you may need to wear your helmet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. I
Blinking
salute
light
Led.
good, solid green light bad.
Yes.
Yeah, I salute Led on the way out. Just assuming Led told us that what's happening, so on the assumption, and I'll just do a bit of a morning scout around just to make sure everything's all good and try to record where problems are, kind of thing. After looking at the map of the place and getting an idea, we can link our comm units into the ship. I'm not sure if we can do that or.
You can.
Yep, if I do that, so I know where I'm going, and I'll go down and check where the droid was originally, see if I can find it, and then just go around and look at things and tell the droid to go back up to report to Led, the command center, kind of thing, and stuff like that. So
None of the turbo lifts are working.
And activate your location beacons so I can see you on the.
Okay.
So you know which button to push.
Yes, so I can see you on the ship's map.
okay, we'll do that. I click if I have a location button thing.
So whoever's using the command office can follow Ash through the station with cameras.
Yep. So I'll just go around, look and make sure everything's still good, just do a bit of sweep kind of thing. I assume did we get Did we get the ship in last night, or we're going to get the ship in this morning to the docking place?
I believe we needed the ship in this morning because we needed to rest before we tried.
Yeah, no, okay. So I'll go around to check the.
Unless we can comms over to the people on the ship and get them into the station.
They could have done it themselves. They
Yeah.
were competent with basic flying.
Yeah, so we could have had them there, so we could potentially go check up on them if there's something else we necessarily need to do.
I was going to go check for all the droids and all that kind of stuff, and then actually basically try to get the initiatives, the juniors, I'm going to call them. They don't like to call them juniors, but I'll just say to I'll tell them with the command center and I'll escort them back, kind of thing. So I'll just do a bit of a sweep and escort people back that don't know where to go, kind of thing. So if that's okay with our gracious lead. I've got a thumbs up from Lid there, so I'm going to go with it.
Okay. Cool. I'm trying to think
Thank you, things are going too smooth.
what else. Because, like, basically we just need to wait for more supplies and that kind of thing. So I might put out, like, start making an inventory of what I think are the supplies we need. And with that, I might have a pilot help me out, or Brew help me out, because I don't know anything about mechanics. And I'm just like, well, this usually has a cover, there's no cover. I don't know what that's called.
That was another one that you had, because you're actually up on here.
Oh, right, okay.
So you should have been up in the actually here. Got to move him into the actually here part of the thing.
All good. I have a look on the computer and see what rations are left on the space station, and
Well, it seems that they stored most of the rations right where you found most of the Gundarks.
right.
That was their food storage area.
There's a reason why the Gundarks are nesting there.
Naturally. Okay, and
I started making a grocery list.
and I check on the status of the space station's weapons.
All the weapons.
All the internal punishment weapons are working fine, it says.
About the external weapons.
Most of them haven't been brought online with the bringing the station up online. You're lucky if you've got shields working over most of the station.
Alright. I will look into repairing the shields. It may potentially be beneficial.
Well, at least now, if say a pile of asteroids come your way, you can deflect them.
Correct.
Just you can't shoot them down.
Potentially problematic. But yes, so I will look into fixing the shield generator.
You do note down that none of the landing bays had tractor beams, which is unusual for a space station.
Yeah,
What would that indicate?
Indicate that either they were removed or the station predated tractor beam technology.
Interesting.
And this is Derrylin's old space station.
This station was owned by the mining company of Darylin, which doesn't mean they bought it. That they built it, they may have just bought it or claimed it.
This station is just off of the planet, what's the secondary planet where we met Maverick?
Torina.
There you go, that one. It's just off of Terrinoth.
And it does have notes in there saying that they wiped it from Darylin's records.
This space station.
And the planet.
Oh. Trina.
Well, no, they
No,
Al-
they're-
Alamaran.
Because they, yeah.
Almarin.
Alamaran, sorry. Sorry, there's a lot of names.
There is.
There is.
There's about 50 odd different location names in the sector.
So they've wiped out Alamaran entirely.
They've taken it off the data systems from their home planet,
Right.
which the Empire then took over.
I see, yeah. Is that so someone was hiding it from the Empire, or the Empire was hiding it?
They hid it from the Empire. It was deleted before the Empire took over the planet, and they got out before the Empire took over the planet.
Okay, so it could be that we could possibly contact them and they might be friendly if they know we're not Empire.
They might. Most of them moved to the planet below, basically because the Empire had visited the station a few times too many.
Oh, if an Inquisitor's turning up, you don't want to hang around for too long.
Hey, Red Blades generally don't ask questions. Okay, so as Ash is exploring the station, I will give. I'll give him a skullduggery check. What is Ash's skullduggery?
2 green.
2 green.
Used to be 1 green. Now I've gone up to 2 green.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Oh no!
That's okay. Could be worse.
Okay, so that ended up with an advantage as you were going through the space station. You didn't accidentally trigger a.
I was going to say red dice.
You didn't trigger any of the traps along the way, or the punishment zones either.
Waiting for that red dice to drop.
Well, that was the red dice dropping.
Oh, okay, so it was a red dice blank.
So no, he had a failure and a threat on the red dice, and he had a success and 2 advantages on the green dice. So it meant he had a net of an advantage.
Okay, so that's why.
I'll be singing some sort of Mandalorian song.
I almost can't imagine like Ash just like going do 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 like down a hallway as like things happen behind him as he walks past.
Yeah, very much like a Guardian of the Galaxy montage. So,
Well, considering how many people would shy away from flashing red lights and go towards green or blue lights.
Ash likes blue, so I'm not sure about that. We'll get back to that one another day. But anyway, I'll go do 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 do, and just having a quick glance as I go over things, but not really looking at noticing things as much as I should be.
So, having your sweep through the station that lasts you most of the day, you don't find any droids. So while Ash is off doing his scouting, what's everyone else doing?
Fixing the shields.
Okay, so I will give you a mechanics roll on that. Is Khalid helping? You sound like you're far away there, Ross.
No, I had the mic up, that's all. But I'll assist, but I'm not sure if I would actually help them as such.
You have at least 1 rank in it, yes?
Yes.
Then you can add a blue dice.
Okay, cool.
So I've got mechanics 3 and
A green. Okay, so that works out.
Hey, I gave you a success.
hooray!
So
Nice.
without Khalid helping, it wouldn't have been a success. As you managed to feed more power to the shields, getting it up to about 15%. Woo! You're thinking you might need to get some more fuel rods for your space station.
So we need a massive amount of supplies.
Misa say we add fuel rods to space station fuel rods to shopping list.
Yeah.
We might be able to get them on via Zuba.
They're only about twice the size of a Gungan.
Mm.
And you only need about 50 of them. Okay.
Something tells me this is going to take some time.
It's going to take some time to get everything, but we can at least put it on the inventory list, and that way we can get it as we go along, or at least have go back to our people and just be like, look, this is what we need. Parts as they come, please.
Yeah.
So you got those who are doing that. What is Kayana doing while everyone else is? One's off exploring. You can hear the singing through the mic if you got to turn it off.
Yeah, sorry. I am just continuing to go along within the area, trying to find out as much as I can here in the command before moving to different areas, try to get a little bit to add more things to the list. And I am following the red lights because I've learned this station, red light means go that way.
Somebody is very aware of what's happening here. That's not what I wanted to say. I was going to say something cooler, but my brain didn't give me words.
Okay, so following the red lights, you seem to find your way towards the captain's quarters of the station.
Ooh, very nice.
It's fancier than the rest of them.
Of course it is.
It seems to be about 4 times the size of the next largest quarters.
Nice.
And there's red velvet on the walls.
It is soft plush red carpeting.
Very nice, very nice.
Microfiber red carpeting.
Well, you know, in this setting, that might be the be all and end all of
Bougie.
fibers.
Use it to polish my armor.
Well, it looks like the sort of stuff that you can wash blood off quite easily.
See, this is what you want.
Cool. So I guess I will look around the captain's quarters, see if I can find anything interesting or cool to note about the station. And, take my time, enjoy my time there, that kind of stuff.
So it looks like the captain's quarter has one of the... you can actually do a locking it, so it is like a panic room, the entire quarters.
Nice.
And you can control the punishment zones from here as well.
Wow.
Of course.
Why would you not want to do stuff? But
Such
on
an
top of it,
emphasis
you
on
can
punishment.
actually punish the commander's office if you're not there.
That's funny.
So if you don't trust the person who's sitting there at the station, you can punish them.
There you go. See, when you just wake up, you're kind of cranky in the morning, you just need to do a quick punishment. There you go.
Sorry, that's my best kind of description of the whole thing.
Better than coffee.
What's that?
It's better than coffee.
Oh, well, I don't know.
For some people, I'm sure.
Depends on who you ask, I'm sure.
I'd rather coffee to incentivize me in the morning than electric shock.
No, not electric shock to yourself, electric shock to other people.
Yeah.
You don't look like you're awake yet, Push Bud.
I'm not of that disposition. Let's just put it that way.
But you also notice that there is another section here which seems to be a droid control unit for a bunch of assassin droids.
So this is where maybe some of these guys came from. I will see if there are any more available, or if there are any, we knew there were 5. If there was positions for more than that, if there are any left, stuff like that.
Well, it said it had capacity for 50, but there are none currently online.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Might want to investigate that area and see if there are any that are offline that can be repurposed for the use of the family.
And all the droids are supposed to be located on the outside hull, so they just look like parts of the ship.
That's pretty cool.
Well, most people wouldn't notice, and then parts of the ship just come to life and attack everyone.
See, that's neat. That's a good time.
And when they move, they basically create vacuum, so things inside will suck out.
When they move,
Because they also represent part of the ship's hull.
right? Someone designed that badly.
I feel like they probably didn't have the best engineers working on this.
Well, you have a feeling it was designed purposefully like that?
But that doesn't make sense, because if you're being attacked, say, and you need to make use of those assassin droids, the people that are in the area where those assassin droids created vacuum are actually useful, obedient people, you're gonna end up vacuuming a bunch of people that you like and need.
You know, the Sith have been known to be, the smartest. They just do things that are cool for the fun of it sometimes.
Well, they assume that they'll carry their life support systems with them everywhere if they're useful.
Wow.
And if they follow the Force.
Whereas cruelty without purpose is just dumb. Cruelty with purpose, I negotiate it.
I won't.
Though you can actually seal the bits where the droids come out with if they decide to put the shielding up.
But that's getting the shielding back online.
Hey, if the ship's so damaged that the shielding doesn't work, they don't really care who's inside.
True.
Plus, when you're the captain, you have this nice little panic room. You don't have to worry about what happens to everybody else.
And it does also note that the medical droids are also the ship's torture droids.
Oh, gosh.
And suddenly, no one wonders why Thea wanted to go get medical help elsewhere.
And they have not been reprogrammed to be more beneficial.
So that would be perhaps the first priority. Don't know how much we can trust B1 to reprogram them, but we'll see.
There is a warning that attempting to reprogram them may cause imminent death.
As in
Sounds like a B1 problem.
Either they self-destruct or they go on a murder spree.
Oh, well, maybe we should just take them apart.
They're probably better at scrap, yeah. Hey, spare parts. Cool.
I'm sure B1 will approve. Okay, so yes, that's most of the stuff you find out from being in the command center. I mean, in the captain's quarters. The captain's bed is also luxurious.
Yeah.
Except there's no bedding, no mattress. But the whole space that you sit the mattress on is very big and spacious. You could probably fit the entire party on there and not touch each other.
Missed opportunity.
And there appears to be a walk-in closet that's bigger than most people's cabins.
Ooh, is there any outfits left behind?
They're probably all black.
There is what appears to be a set of armor that's black with red highlights.
Interesting.
Is it better than your armor?
Probably not. But
It's not in the Mandalorian design, but it is armor.
yeah, no, it's something interesting that she will note to pass on to Thea upon her return. But is there a black cape with it?
There is. It looks like it may have had a cape at some stage, but
No black.
there are attachments for it, and what appears to be rotted fabric on the ends of it.
Makes sense.
And it has a music generator in it that goes dun 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 dun.
There you go.
Well, it'd be something to pass on, perhaps, to Carlin, being the armor himself. Just to pass it on and be like, hey, here's a cool thing that I think you might appreciate.
And the last room you find there that is unusual is what looks to be a training room. Or meditation room. Hard to tell because it's got weapons attached to the walls. You'd find it very, very relaxing to be in here with all those weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice training room. Yeah, we're gonna repurpose purposes for whatever it was. This is not a training room.
Okay, so the rest of that day passes rather uneventfully. As you meet up again at the command office for the night.
Yep.
So what do you tell each other about what you found?
Misa say the ship's shield is now up to 15% from 5.
This is good.
Unfortunately, we need more power rods because that's all that the dilithium crystal. That's all that the onboard, the remaining functioning onboard power cells have in them.
Too much problems with the Minok infestation.
Yep.
Hopefully the people they are messaged will turn up with some of the supplies and help to get things running.
Okay, so what does Ash tell everyone about what he found?
Yeah, I'll just say, don't know droids, no idea where they are. Pretty uneventful. Had a good time. I go sit back on the bed in the captain's quarter and just relax.
So while everyone went to the command center, he went to the captain's quarters.
I'll find where everyone is. I'll go back and just, over the radio, so I'm on my way back, I'll head back to the commander's quarters. Yell if you need me. Rah.
I'll meet you in there.
Okay, so what does Khalid tell everyone? What's his pep talk for the next day? What's Khalid's pep talk for the next day?
Honestly, I missed everything.
That's not good.
Is that what Khalid tells everyone?
No. Keep up the good work.
I give him a thumbs up when he says that.
And Ghastly, you got any ideas?
I just tell everybody about finding the captain's quarters and the super cool new training room that we can likely utilize if it's not super deadly.
Do we have a ship room?
That's what this could possibly be. So, just talking about where to find, talk about a little bit more about different supplies that maybe we found. I tell Carlin about the armor that I found, this all black armor that is not in the Mandalorian style that I think he would be interested in. He does not have a cape, so I'm not interested in it.
Has capacity for a cape.
I want the cape part though. I want my armor back cape. And yeah, just talk about how big the room is and stuff, and that the captain's quarters could potentially become our new lounge headquarters room ish if we were the ones stationed here for a while. But yeah, that's the best I have.
Okay.
So as you've got quite a few days to get through before help arrives, what do your characters do for the next 5 days?
Fix
I guess-
cables.
With that, just continue to try to tidy up, I suppose, of like getting rid of like the Minoc bodies and just like cleaning up the areas with debris and getting everything ready for whenever new supplies do show up. That way it's clean and ready to go.
You do have a bunch of things on your freighter that you brought with you, just not enough to get the station fully operational.
Yeah.
I'll check out this training room, see if I can set up a shooting range without damaging the ship. And if I could do that, I'm happy to. Oh, it depends on. I'll have to check it all out, make sure it's not going to cause any hull damage or anything like that. But I'd like to create a little shooting range or, yeah, my gun. So.
Well, the captain's quarter,
Go.
the captain's quarters has no external walls, so that you can't shoot it from the outside,
I'm talking about the training room, so
including the training room. So that's all part of the captain's quarters.
Is it all about the okay? Well, I would see if we can find the med bay or the medical area first. See if I can check for supplies there and do a bit of stock take for that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll help out wherever I get told by my process leader.
Okay, so while you're exploring the med bay, you come across what appears to be very happy to see you droids,
Hey.
who offer to give you a free examination.
No. It's okay. But just want to make sure
They're sure that they can improve or at least help your muscles relax after all the stress you've been putting it through over the last few days.
PG.
No. I'm not. I don't like droids generally. Okay.
They seem quite helpful and cheerful, and they even scan you while you're talking to them.
Well, they can do that, but as long as I know where they are. Again, you got this medical area all covered off, have you? Just to make sure that they're okay. They've recorded all the stockpile we've got and all that. So.
They have. They give you a list of supplies that they might need, and they suggest you lie down for a while they go through it.
No. It's good. Just give me this, and I'll make sure it gets fulfilled. Well, I'll try to walk backwards out of the place.
You walk backwards into a door.
I open the door and they keep walking backwards.
You reach for the controls and you use do.
Uh-oh. You got your gun on you, right?
Oh yeah, not afraid to use it, but I'm not sure how.
Though I do remember that when Kayana told you all about the place, she left off the bit about the medical droids.
Yes.
Did Kayana warn you about the medical droids?
She did not.
I would go. Comms up, going. Hey, anyone want to help me get open the door? I've got some issues with some medical droids here, and I'll put that out to everyone across the spectrum.
It's a good thing you're naturally
I don't want to
suspicious
destroy them,
droids.
but if I have to, I will. Well, slowly turn on the gun.
Okay, so Broom Broom gets the message. What does Broom Broom do?
I have a look at the control panel and see if I can open the door.
You can. There's a button for external access.
External access.
Yes.
There's also a punishment button.
Mm-hmm.
There's also an interrogate button. It does say that the subject is currently under stress conditions. Would you like to increase stress levels? Has popped up.
No. I don't believe that will.
You sort of have to hit that 3 times before it accepts it.
I don't believe that. No. I don't believe that will assist the situation.
And once you finally push it 3 times, the door's open behind him and he falls backwards.
out of the room and the door shut.
Okay, thank you, whoever it was, and I go, don't go to the medical bay. Alone, and I said the last word. And I wander back going, I mumble about droids and how they conniving things and all that kind of stuff and all like that.
Am I able to, or I should be able to, from the computer, run a system scan and have it generate a list of all the parts and stuff that we need to fix things?
It says it will finish compilation the data for you in a week's time.
Okay, cool.
Your week's taken care of. Back to those
Yep.
racing simulators.
Yep.
Okay, so what else is Ash doing during that week's downtime?
Well, I realise medical bay is out of order at the moment.
Well, it's got 3 medical droids.
No, it's out of order according to Ash. Anyway. I would
I'm
make
surprised
sure.
it didn't end up being a fight between you and 3 droids, to be honest.
If it comes between me and the droids we lose on this one. So, but it's okay. Okay, droids. Okay, I'll go. Okay, I'll help transport stuff from our ship that's in the dock and up back where it needs to be done. Help out people wherever I can, and just be a general helping person. And work with my, I suppose, persons to come from my clan component kind of thing, and work with them, trying to help out whatever I can do kind of thing. So.
There's a lot of cabling and things that need fixing. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll help out where I can, and I'll just, be a general good helping hand, carry things and all that kind of stuff.
So what does Brum Brum do during that week's?
I've started the inventory list. I get back to our ship and jump on the station play and continue the next season.
So not fixing any cables?
We need parts to fix stuff.
Fair
Don't want to use up all your supplies before you know what's coming.
Fair enough.
Or to realise that it's potentially unfixable and a waste of resources.
Because if only one gun can be brought online, you want to make sure you bring the gun online that actually works. Okay, so Guyana's tidying up. Ash is looking to build a shooting range, avoid the med bay, and carry supplies around. Brum Brum kicks off the inventory list of spare parts that he needs and gets in some more driving practice. What does Khalid do?
Let's see. So we've got psychopathic medical droids.
Aren't told medical droids that way?
I was going to say, how is that different from our experience?
Yeah, true. B1 is a psychopathic droid.
Maybe he's got friends here.
Realistically, we probably need a lot of pit droids and things like that. Problem is we can't run a station that's designed to have hundreds of people working in it with a team of, 5?
So I think maybe it would be worth us kind of going through to kind of figure out what do we need to have a skeleton crew even run this place, and that way we can at least give the information of, alright, on average this is what we're looking at for basics, this is for optimal, things like that.
Makes sense.
So we'll probably also need to get an inventory of defensive systems as well.
Yeah.
Because I believe a lot of pirates will want to get access to this one.
Absolutely. And this is where I'll tell Khalid about the potential assassin droids. So, like, we have the 5 that we knew of that exploded, and that there would be potentially maybe 45 others that may be offline that are part of the whole system, so it would be a bit difficult to outright see them, but there's potential that there are more assassin droids that we need to be aware of.
So what you're telling me, we need to get a robot expert to find out and basically either reprogram them or disassemble them.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah, great.
Or activate them all and send them to the sun.
This is a
Don't need to
big deal.
activate them, we could just ship them and then space them to the sun.
But technically, we control the station, so we control them now.
It depends if these droids have got any free thinking.
Sure.
And also, but the problem is we do not know how they've been programmed.
Exactly.
We may not look like their previous owners.
And you may not have the command codes.
Yep.
So basically they'll need to be memory wiped. At least. And we need a droid expert for that. I have no idea how to memory wipe them other than with a heavy blast to the head.
I do believe Ash will volunteer to help you with that.
Yeah, I go to Ash's line of thinking with most droids that are combat orientated, but B1 is a nanny droid, not a combat droid.
I look at you with a strange, like, WTF, and I go, a nanny droid?
Yeah.
Who was the nanny? Who was the droid nanny over?
Oh, it's a one part of the Mandalorian clan that really liked combat and that.
Oh. Okay. It doesn't really look like a nanny droid to me, but okay. I'll go with it.
He was lost for a while, and unfortunately, I believe self-improvement was one of the things nailed into him at the beginning. So basically, he's striving to improve himself even more. That's why he no longer looks like a standard B1.
We'd probably also add that if you're going to have a droid look after an impressionable Mandalorian, you'd most likely want to give them a combat droid.
No, yeah. Now, using my knowledge in some way, I'm just going to look at my character sheet, could I, I'm going to use education probably. Would I have known of, was it like droids as nannies, were they popular with the kind of Mandalorians kind of thing?
Not unheard of, but not common.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Seems a bit kind of more self-aware than I'm used to for a droid, but I'm sure this, wherever this B1 unit is, yeah, okay. But I agree. I'm not a fan of droids, but yeah, I'm sure there's a reason why you guys work with it somehow, kind of. I give you a kind of look of going, are you on any sort of relaxation drugs or anything like that when you accepted this droid in kind of thing? So, but yeah. Anyway, okay.
I don't know if we accepted more per se of was granted the benefit of the presence of. We just have to accept it.
God, so bad.
You're not helping out here, Ash, with his thoughts of the druid droid at the moment.
No, I don't think she is.
Okay. But those medical droids definitely remind me of
Medical
B1.
droids are scary.
So I just want to let you know that I wouldn't go in there alone. And if you feel like we have to, if that's a threat, then just let me know. I'm happy to join you whenever you decide there.
Happy to take care of it.
Yep. And I pat my gun and look at the scratches again, and look at and look at the scratches again. So.
Someone's being held accountable.
I'm not saying anything, I'm just looking at the scratches and looking at saying anything else.
Okay, so after the 5 days of going through stuff, you end up with an alarm waking you up in the command center.
Uh-oh.
So who is going to be manning the computer system?
Somebody who knows how to use a computer.
Sure.
I was gonna say, not me.
Everyone stepped back and left the Gungan volunteering.
Yeah.
He's in charge.
Yeah. A red button. Yeah, so running computers and superpower.
Okay, so you've detected hyperspace jumps in system. And it's not just one. It keeps the numbers just keep going up as you're staring at the screen.
Misa not sure if numbers going up are good or bad for us.
Depends on whether or not they're all Sith vehicles or something else.
And you
Are they
count
rebels this time? No.
12 vehicles entering system, and they seem to be on an intercept course to the station.
Misa says, well, this thing doesn't have any working weapons.
Got 15% shields.
15% shields. Misa says, pretty much be prepared to be boarded.
Can we determine what the vessels are at all?
Could try to comms them.
They are beyond your scanner's ability to identify. Beyond their, they can pick up the hyperspace jump-in system, just not detect the what the ships are.
Yeah, they might be using Apple, whereas we use Droid.
Well, very soon Star Wars might be Apple.
Led, do you want me to go out in my starfighter, my fighter, and just?
Yes.
Okay. I'll head downstairs, hoping the docking base is good enough for us to move the.
ETA is 3 hours
gonna
for
step
intercept.
in at all? Just asking.
Carla's in charge.
Yeah, I just the spirit of Thea would like to remind everyone she did ask for help to come, and if you shoot at it, it might.
No. We're just getting an alert.
We're just getting.
Yeah.
We're expecting visitors, but we haven't been able to identify who they are.
Yeah, so it's just sending out the.
You did send out
Sending out the person to answer the door is all that is.
The scapegoat. Is the word I was going to use. But I was just going to pop out there and just get a visual of what is coming, and if I think it's, I was happy to do the communications kind of thing. So.
Okay, for you to get a proper visual, you would need to be in weapons range, unless they're big ships. If they're small ships, sensors will identify them long before you can see them.
Okay, would my sensors on my ship identify it before I get there, or?
You would have, unless it's a ship bigger than yours, you would have to, you'd pick it up a little bit further away. The bigger the ship, the further away you can identify it.
Okay, I suppose I'd like to see if I can. If they come directly, as long as they come directly towards the station, and I'll get the fighter outside kind of thing, just pop around the base going, okay, can I confirm they are coming directly to the station there,
From what it looks like on the computer system, yes, they are coming straight at us.
Okay, can I? Well, I suppose I'm looking into. I'm going to start communication because I'm always going to believe there's it's good in people. So, so I'll see if I can. And I'll go. Hey, what do we call this place? I think I led. What are we going to call it before I say? I'm going to do comms with the people out there. Do we
Starwing?
Starwing? Okay. I'll go. I'll comms out. Go. Greeting, fellow travellers.
The other question would be, considering you're supposed to be covertly here, do you really want to
Oh.
call it after your clan? Or have you forgotten that aspect?
Okay, we just call it Dredge.
Okay. I'll just say, Dredge communicating out to fellow travellers in our sector, just communicating who you are and what your business is.
Okay, so over your comms you get Fighter Dredge. We are incoming. Please provide details of who you are or be shut down.
Would you like to tell us who you are first? Make it easier.
I repeat, Fighter Dredge, please provide details of who you are or we shall identify it from your remains.
Yeah, maybe shooting them might be the first option.
Okay. I turn the comms back to Led. They're not identifying themselves properly. Do you want us to inform them who we are, or just wait?
They're still out of range for visual identification.
Unfortunately, yes, and unfortunately, I think I'll be in shooting range if they identify them. Over.
By the time you can identify them, they will be in your weapons range.
Yeah.
Fighters don't have a great sensor range.
We only have one fighter as well, I think, so against 12.
So is anyone here able to actually use the sensors of this base?
Well, they're not fully online because
We don't
need parts.
Yeah, we don't have enough power to we only have enough power for 15% shield.
And you have to pinch that from somewhere.
They got pinched from the weapon systems.
The only offense we potentially have is any assassin droids that still exist that may or may not be able to come online and may or may not be able to be under our control. Other than that, we don't have any defense.
Yeah, and I don't think Ash could take on. What is it? Semi-capital ships, aren't they? They're a lot bigger than a fighter.
That's if that's what they are,
If
which,
you can-
based off some previous experience with the things coming within a planet's range, I'm suspecting this may not be friendly.
And last time, when we had like the big space race where we came up against like 12 plus ships, it did not come out too well. So Misa say you might as well tell them who we are. Because even even if we try and escape on,
It doesn't matter either way. So
on our ships we can't defend ourselves. So
Nah, okay, I'll say, look, I'll advise that I'm a Mandalorian fighter, and I won't mention you guys, and just see how it goes. Okay. Over and out. Okay. Unknown person. I'm a Mandalorian fighter, on a bounty hunt. Just wondering why I was just resting here at this station. Just wondering who you are.
Mandalorian fighter, please provide your ID code for verification.
Do I have an ID code?
All ships would have an ID code that you could transmit.
Yeah, look, I'll do that. I'll try to oblige. Consider my number here. So.
Okay, so on your computer system, you see they seem to connect to your ship, and all the things that were flashing bad on your ship change over to friendlies. And you find that you've got 12 incoming Fang fighters.
Okay.
Same type of ship you have.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We can understand
you-
why they're more aggressive to someone coming at them not identifying themselves.
No, that's right. I thought that was all playing very kind of safe. Okay. Would you like entry to the starbase? I advise that constant.
We're coming into the system for a sensor sweep to make sure it's safe for other transports to arrive. Have you secured the system?
Okay. Let me know if you need to I'll radio ahead to the people on the comms.
I repeat, have you secured the system?
We've secured the base. I'm sure about the system at the moment, so we're just trying to get the base back and going.
Okay, so you see at that point that the Fang fighters seem to split off into groups of 2 and head off in different directions.
Okay. I communicate back with Led and the team just saying what's happened, and there are Fang fighters, and it looks like they're here to do a sweep kind of thing. So they're just making things sure everything's safe before they can bring any transport ships across. So, roger that.
Misa say, did they say what's on these transporters? Are they transporting people? Are they transporting parts?
I will communicate that out and ask the question, so that's okay.
Okay, so in response they say, okay, so what's your authorization code?
I don't have one, I believe. That's okay. If I can't know, then I understand. So I just thought I'd ask the question as it comes from the comms team, that's all.
Well, next time, make sure they have the authorization code the lead fighter says.
Yeah, no problems. Put myself on mute on the speaker going. Myself, and then, okay. Nah, look, Led, you might have to communicate with them. I don't think I have an authorization code. So
what authorization codes were we given?
Thea had been given a few of them, but had not passed them over because they were her codes, not your codes.
Okay. We might have to wait till they get
You
on.
might just have to tell them that you've just been given a message from Thea, who's your leader, and she's not medically capable of passing those on at the moment.
Misa suggests potentially playing Thea's distress message words. England. Distress message to them, and Misa says maybe her voice.
Voice is her passport.
Maybe it'll be like voice recognition and.
I'll be honest with them and explain that Thea's our leader got injured, or we didn't supply any authorization codes, but I'm willing to help out to you guys to have you the sweep system. So if you need me to do anything, I'll help out. I'll say. So.
That the leader does ask, do you have any experience with sweeping for threats in star systems?
Have I had experience before I started these guys?
Well, you've experienced flying a ship, you've just not been the threat seeker. You go blow things up.
Yeah, you're probably like the interceptor. You're the interceptor, not the patrol craft.
Because that requires computer use.
Okay, I'll say, look, no, my previous roles were this, but look, I'll happy to head back to the base and wait for you. So.
Okay, we'll catch you on the station, Dredge.
No problems. Over and out. And I head back into the. I'll park, head back in the station. Take one on the way back up to the.
Which is when you realised that you gave them your call sign as Dredge.
Yes, I know that. So I'm going to go with. I'll just cover base in that one. So.
All good. Okay.
When I meet him in person, I'll explain why I did it. So.
About 3 hours later, you see some of the fighters start coming in,
Misa using the computer, directing ships to hangar 008. Permission granted to hangar 008 on the right hand side of the ship. I don't know if that's port or starboard, but on the right hand side of the ship. Starboard.
Yeah.
Okay, so after they hear you on the comms, you get some excited message comms back from some of them who seem to know you quite well, having heard your racing exploits, and know that you're the
Famous.
Gungan. A couple
You
of
should
them.
have said Misa say ahoy, ahoy.
Oh well. I can reverse back in time. Misa say hoi hoi. I shall light up the bays on hangar 008. Please dock your ships in hangar 008. Hoi
Someone
hoi.
might be
out.
signing some autographs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go ahead down to Double A to introduce and take them up to the comms kind of thing. So
Okay, so you see in the end 12 ships that look almost identical to yours.
ooh, I feel like I'm going, yeah, this is all that kind of thing. Ash is very excited right now. So
except they're red.
I don't know, they're all in colours of blue and grey. Not wanting to show up too much.
no, that's fair enough. And I'll explain the call sign region and introduce myself as Ash correctly and say, sorry, we weren't sure who was that out there. Our sensors are not working 100% yet, so, but I can take you up to the comms area.
It's okay, we'll send out the notification that the system appears quiet. But we're not expecting anything in for another 24 hours. So if you're up for it, we'll meet the supply ships about half a day out from the station on the edges of the system.
Understood. I'll take you up to meet the crew that's still here. I'll explain about Thea Kia being injured and went back to your field and explain what we found on the station and what we've done so far to keep things up. We haven't got everything completed yet. We're still waiting for some equipment and get them a bit of a rundown while we walk back up the comms area. And then I'll introduce everyone to they'll probably see Boom first on autographs and I'll then introduce it to Ledge and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you find out that the leader of the group is a Lieutenant Page. She has long green hair. Happy to meet the famous Gungan with the mohawk.
Misa say hoi hoi.
See, hoi hoi's back.
You're gonna start a trend.
And then you hear hoi hoi's coming from all the other people in her squad.
And Misa does the wave.
Queen's wave.
Yep. Misa say we are on this starship and it's in substantial disrepair. And
You got the power working. That's got to count for something.
yes, the power's on. The shields are up, are working. I don't tell them how little or whatnot they are working, but they are working. And yeah, what can you tell us? The ships that you've got coming, are they what are they?
Well, we got a couple of bulk transports coming in. Unfortunately, they don't have great defenses, which is why we're scanning everywhere ahead of time. Last thing we want is for a bunch of pirates to run off with people and gear.
Or ships?
Well, the ships we could always steal back, but losing people and gear, not so great.
Took us a long time to steal that crap.
And yeah, our commander, leader, this is our commander, captain. What's
Commander,
Acting commander.
acting commander, acting commander. That was words, England. Our acting commander, led.
She goes, oh, so you're that disappointing armorer's son.
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of Mandalorians are blunt. And she says that with a happy smile on her face. As if she's correctly identified you.
I just want
Well,
to record.
at least
I
I'm
didn't
known.
tell him that. That's
But you have heard of me.
That's true.
Well, she says, yes, most of the fighter pilots have.
Okay, that's weird.
Why
Fair
would
enough.
fighter pilots hear about the disappointing?
Probably because I was working on the ship itself and not on any of the weapons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was working mainly in the hangar and the station.
Fair enough.
So they got to find out who it was who was walking around repairing things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because most of them want to know who's working on their stuff. They don't really want the apprentice, they want the master.
But I'm the master apprentice.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, and most of them ignore Kayana.
Oh,
I was gonna say it's semi-expected.
true.
And a few of them say, oh my, what a big gun you have, to Ash.
Depends on. No, I'm going to either way, whether it's male or female. It's just-
And a few of them also add, I hope that's not too much for you.
Oh no, trust me, it isn't. But can you handle it? I just look at them and say that. But
I wouldn't want to touch another man's gun, they say.
that's understandable, but that's okay.
And you seem rather attached to it, they also add.
Most
Yes.
men don't want to let go of their big guns.
Well, other people might covet their gun otherwise.
She does a good job, I say. And I just realised what I just said. And feel a bit red-faced. So.
Luckily, you've got a helmet.
That's true.
Well, no, I may have that one off by now because we're in the breathing area.
Okay, so they say, given that they've got about 12 hours before they need to head out, they probably need about 4 hours sleep, and they're happy to spend the rest of their time setting up accommodation for about 300 to 500 people.
Okay, I just tell them to just avoid the near bait, mate. We've got some issues with droids in there.
Well, why they sort of look at you saying, why haven't you dealt with them then?
We're still making decisions on that.
You could just say that they're inactive and we need a technician to line wipe them.
Yeah, they're a bit not quite with it is probably the best word for it, without saying. Yeah. They need some readjustment to work properly, that's all.
Misa say, I'm not sure if this ship will be able to provide life support systems for 3 to 500 plus 12 plus 5 people, because this ship only has 8 power cores that are working. The other 50 are depleted.
Yep.
The dilithium crystals have failed in the other 50.
We can work to bring it all online.
We will build it, and hopefully they won't come. They being the Sith.
You should have enough bodies to man the station. And hopefully enough supplies to get it up and running properly.
Otherwise, they'd probably stay on their ships.
Misa say, I have generated this report and hit Control P print. And the dot matrix printer starts going spastic.
It says it's up to page 1 of 3 million.
Yep.
My goodness, yeah.
Might be better to get another ship than trying to fix this old clunker.
But the old,
Your problem, mine.
well, the old clunker, you wouldn't be able to build anything this big.
That's why when people talk about the Death Star being built and, you know, despite the evilness of the guy who built the Death Star, what a project manager when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was like a planet-sized city.
Well,
basically.
it would hold the population of a planet.
Yeah,
Because you could fit people all the way into near the center.
it's just, yeah, massive.
And you just motivate people by...
Yeah, well, you know, he wasn't technically on there all the time, was
No.
he?
Well,
He was not. He was a late addition.
using the Force, it doesn't really need to be. He could remote work from home.
Yeah, that's true.
No one expects the Sith to arrive.
Yep.
This is also true.
Okay, so anything you guys want to do to prepare for lots of people in gear?
Take an online project management course.
I'm sure you can get a Krennic course.
Oh, what course?
Krennic, the guy who built the Death Star.
Oh, right.
You did
Krennic
reference it.
course. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know his name. So his name was Krennic. There you go.
I head back to the station play and to the race simulator.
As you get there, you find that one of the pilots is already sitting in there playing it.
Misa say, hoi hoi, out.
In a moment.
Hoik, hoik.
Just doing my favourite track.
Come on, you can't begrudge them one track.
Misa say you better have hit save before starting this.
Yeah. Ow.
I did save my spot, he said.
If he ends up with a higher time than you do, you've got a challenge.
Just go to the save games and hit delete.
Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness.
Okay, it doesn't take him long to finish off. And he says, looks like I got a high score. He does a high five for you.
Oh,
And he walks out happily singing a battle song.
well, that sounds appropriate. Oh.
You saw he was on the test track, and while he beat your score on the test track, you weren't really trying on that one.
Misa say he was going around Wakefield Park.
Wakefield Park. As opposed
I offered
to...
to help join them for this meet up with the transport company just as a refresher myself. So
You can. Having an extra ship will be worthwhile, they say.
okay, cool. I'll do that just as I feel a bit useless on the ship on the airbase at the moment, so that's why I thought I enjoy what I like doing.
So we're
Love
on
to
a,
get the starfighter to run kind of thing. So
are we on a space station?
Yes, you're on a space station,
Okay, cool.
which is why it has such a big engine.
Yeah, I just wanted to check.
They do talk to you about power and engine management because you'll be reaching capacity for fuel heading out there and heading back. So you want to marshal as much as possible for any fighting you may need to do.
well, I'll do that. So make sure I'll listen to any advice I get, and it's good experience for Ashley.
Well, a lot of things you've rarely had to deal with.
Well, this is your
no,
chance to get
and it's almost like feeling back in my Deathwatch days when I used to do stuff. So hanging around with the gang, I call it. So
Well, the sort of stuff they're talking to you about is the stuff you saw some of the elders of your clan are doing.
Oh, okay, cool. That's good experience for me because I want to get more skills and up my knowledge as much as I can. So, if Broogle wants to bring, I'll leave Broogle up to what he wants to do, but he's happy managing the base. So,
Well, none of the other ships that we have weapons, so pointless to take anything else out.
And you don't want to take out your big transport or your small transport because that just becomes pirate bait as well.
Yeah, just transport.
yeah. Cool. Okay. You're right with this, Lee? Just before, just make sure you're good to handle the place while I'm
Yeah.
Cool. I'll see if I can find a droid escort. I'll see if we can confirm this one on the ship coming through.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll just join in for the whatever time it takes, Martin.
So not long after they leave the station, you see most of the ships disappear off the station scope.
Cool.
They do have ways of masking their signature.
Except for me, actually.
Even you, because it's basically about running at as low power as possible.
You forgot.
Once you get your momentum up.
This is the way, and they'll teach you the way.
No, I learned the way. Yeah.
So the reason it takes so long to get out there is they're trying not to leave a signature of what they're doing.
Well,
If they missed any bases on the way in and they're scouting, no one will know what they're doing.
No, that's all right. I'm watching and learning as I go, just to make sure I pick up anything who's ideas for future references.
And,
So.
let me just say, I forgot to ask what Riri is doing.
What is Riri doing in all this?
Probably just helping out with whatever Carla's doing and helping to make sure everything is prepared to receive that many people and just getting an organizational system in place. Since she has experience on the Mandalorian thing, for like when things come in, this is the system that we have to unload everything. This is the system. Follow the order. Follow the signs. All that.
Well, I did work in the hanging section, so I didn't know that part.
Exactly. So that's why I trust her that he was hanging out in the thing with me because I was helping with like the ships there as well. So I trust Harlan and I to figure
The two
out
of you are
good.
in the perfect position from your experience.
Exactly.
Okay, so about half a day passes before your computer system lights up saying that a capital ship has entered the system, followed by 2 more. And from this distance you can pick up that they're bulk transports. So basically ships about 10 times as long as your medium transport. And your medium transport is about 10 times the size of your light transport.
Right.
And that's about 10 times, and so light transport is slightly bigger than your fighters and your racing ship.
Sure. Will these things be able to fit in our hangars? No.
Too
Okay,
big.
cool. Okay.
They'll probably have smaller shuttle type vessels.
If the fighters are fully powered up at this stage, you still wouldn't detect them. They're too far away, which is part of the reason they chose to navigate their way out to the edge of the system.
Yep.
They can also mask their signature by flying close enough to the big ships that you can't detect them.
Right.
So that's the next thing that Mark is taught with Ash, is that you're taught to fly an escort in such a way that other ships can't detect you.
And from our space station, am I now able to see the capital ships?
You can see the signature and identify them from this distance because they put out so much power. The size increases the amount of power, so the bigger the thing they appear on.
Yep.
Whereas the fighters would have to get in a lot closer for you to detect them.
Yep. Cool.
And you realise that it is about 12 hours away from them docking.
Yep.
Well, big, they're also slow. And that 12-hour point is where the biggest danger of pirates is.
Is that because they're slowing down?
No, it's just that they're that slow. In between things is the biggest time to get them, and they try not to come in too close to planets because then they can't turn around and go as quickly.
Okay.
Kind of like a tractor in comparison to a race car.
Yeah.
So if they're all the way out on the edge of the system, they can literally turn and flee. But if they're too close to a planet, by the time they turn, someone's already overtaken them.
Yep.
Okay, so
He just rolled a dice.
Yeah, you did.
I do that occasionally.
Everybody noticed.
So,
What was that, Ross? You wanted to say something? Or Mark?
No, I'm just waiting for what's going to happen next so I can go shoot things.
Okay, so you're up with the big freighters. You do see that they do have markings all on the sides of it. Clan markings you're not familiar with.
If comms are allowed, I'm not sure if we were told I was told that. And I just asked the question while we're escorting along. If I'm allowed to, I can't remember if my no comms are allowed while we do this. But I'll say, excuse me, what's those markings? I haven't seen those before, kind of thing. So
Okay.
I'm not into the clan. So
He gives you a response that sounds very much like he's using curse words, but they don't sound like any curse words you've heard before. But they're followed by, sounds like a curse word clan, followed by a curse word clan, and followed by a curse word clan.
I'll shut up then. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But they're not any curse word you can ever remember. It's just like, imagine someone talking German intently towards you.
Or just imagine that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob learns curse words and it's all dolphin sounds.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Haven't watched that episode, but I'll have to look at it.
I haven't seen that episode either.
But no, okay. I'll just go. Okay. Yeah, thought I was just asking Nicholas. I wasn't expecting that kind of response, but it's like, okay.
Okay, so you end up having what feels like one of the most boring trips back.
No, that's fair enough, but I just thought I'd just give you something else to do, that's all.
It's the
So,
best kind of trip to have back, really.
But you realise you had probably about 10 minutes of intense flying time on your fuel tank.
okay, it's good to know. So, but that's okay, I've got a good idea now what's going on, so. But yeah, I'll just kind of keep the escort coming. I think I'll just do what I have to do and just get told whatever I have to do, kind of thing, and do whatever, yeah.
Okay, and when
I
it
think,
comes...
I think it's a bit rude, personally, but I'm not going to bring it over the comms kind of thing.
I think he was just giving you the clan names, and the clan names just happen to sound like swear words.
Oh no, I think it's something like that, but till I get a better explanation, I'm still just going, whatever, kind of thing.
Okay, so when you see the stations up really close and personal, you get over the comms that all the fighters are going to fall back and dock and refuel and then head back out again once they're refueled, and they're going in pairs, sending you in first.
Okay, I'll keep helping out till all the transports come along, kind of thing. So, and if we get within comm distance, I'll let the guys know what I'm doing, and you should have your first transport docking soon or whatever. So,
Well, all three of them are looking to dock at the same time because they can each fit around the station.
okay, cool.
It's a big station.
That's all right.
And as big as the freighters are, they look tiny in comparison to the size of the station.
Oh no, I will ask the chief, I suppose, fighter pilot lady, say, how many more transports are coming?
Page.
After this, I just asked.
Lieutenant Page responds, this is all we're expecting today. If we need more, there might be some more coming in a week or two. Take them a while to get issued.
Do you need any more in the escort at all?
While they're unloading, which will take probably another 6 to 8 hours, we will continue to fly support, hopefully get some rest in that time, and then escort them back out of the system.
Okay. Happy to help. So I'll just keep helping out where I can. on the outside and let our internal team, I'm going to say, take all the stress off, put people everywhere and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so inside the ship, as you see the dockings come in, you see over the cameras that a majority of the personnel are Koinites,
Nice. Interesting.
which are the Klingon-like people.
Yeah.
Right.
But we've got experience with them
Mm.
being assistants to the Mandalorians in the past.
And they're all carrying a whole heap of swords and knives on them, as well as toolkits. And what you'd expect to be ration packs.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Perfect.
So it looks like you've got a bunch of engineers that are also soldiers.
I think in
For
this
the best
galaxy,
kind.
that's really kind of essential.
And that's when Khalid is introduced to the 3 clans that have come on board to support, having been approached to migrate over here and do some work.
Okay.
And to you, their clan names do sound like swear words. Because it sounds like you're spitting at someone as you try to pronounce it.
Yeah, well, that's German for you.
That's the deal. Yeah.
And the harsher you make it sound, the happier they get.
We really need to get protocol droids.
And so they ask Khalid and Kayana, where do we start? And Kayana
Everywhere.
notices that she's getting as much deference as Khalid is from the Koinites.
Very nice. I will. I'll wait to see if Carlin answers, and then I'll give an answer.
Well, we need to get this station up fully operational, correct?
Yeah. So, where do you want to direct them? Is the question? What do you believe is the first priority?
Misa whispers, shields.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going for too.
No, well, basically we need to get life support up to full because we've got so many people here.
Life support, yeah.
So, Kayana will assist you with her one skill in leadership on how to split up and delegate to the appropriate tasks to work on shields, life support, and
Our
Weapons.
yeah, power basically is our main priorities at this stage.
Weapons.
Weapons as well. I think shield priority first, weapon second, life support third. I think the Koinites would like that.
I think they could work on them sort of jointly, maybe.
Okay, so they give you a yes sir and start heading off to work on it straight away. Looks like they're being all eager to get their hands dirty and get stuff done.
Yeah. Cool.
You also get 6 medical staff.
Okay.
You count out 400 separate Koinites.
Yeah.
And
So-
you find out that the fighter pilots are also assigned here as well.
Cool. Okay.
They've been assigned as station defense.
Ghost chair.
Sit.
It's got a vibrate and a heat function.
Right. Okay.
And the vibrate function just happens to trigger all Ariadne's nerves.
Vibrate function actually presses in on my cranial nerve, which is one of the dysfunctional ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do we make Ariadne scream? Push the button.
Yeah. How to make Ariadne start crying and screaming.
So she's got her own pain room called the chair.
Mm. A Squid Games chair.
So yes, you managed to get quite a contingent here to help you put things together. And so you close out day 19 of this storyline with Kayana and Carly directing people in various directions to get things up and running. You've got Brum Brum having to deal with occasional comm messages, as well as someone trying to beat his high scores on his VR. So he's very reluctant to get away from his VR, because every time he does, one of the pilots sits down on it and has a go.
Water or
Water. And Ash gets a lot of practice with being a fighter pilot.
No, I'm
You sure?
Pretty good.
not a fan of red cordials. Anyhow,
I can do water, red cordial, soft drink.
I'll just have a little bit of water.
Water?
Thank you.
Perfect.
Pre-prepared.
With that, we kind of just, I guess, make sure the station gets up and running smoothly, and
You expect that you'll be up and running within the month, you're told.
perfect.
And that is basically almost a small miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like
Pretty quick.
You just might need a few things to help.
Okay.
So,
Plus one or two light bulbs.
okay, so considering it is 10:30 and you have made quite a few successes here, Ash feels like he's part of the team again, with a whole group of pilots giving him the runaround.
That's okay.
Making sure he knows how everything works on his ship, as well as how to maintain it.
No, I don't mind. It's a good refresher for me. So.
Is the lid switched over to the hole?
It's not turned around the right way.
Need
It's
to just turn it to the hole facing the
front.
front.
That will work.
There you go.
So, Khalid and Kayana are getting a lot of experience with Coinites. And you hear that Thea has been moved on to one of the major hospitals in the sector to rest up after surviving the explosion.
Perfect. Alright.
That's the button.
So that might be it's a good place for us to finish up. Anything else you want to add before we go to end credits and chat afterwards?
I'm all good.
Nope. Fine.
Okay, I shall put it on to end things so we remember to talk about other things afterwards. Okay, be back soon.